It's like I can walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth, the Power of Progressive News Show with Let's Be S3. I am your host with terrible internet, Marlon, along with Theas. And tonight, as you see from the title, we're going to talk about the Ted Cruz interview that was on CNN early last week. Of course, we're also going to talk about Biden and him and his meeting and the outcome of his hosting with the president of Kenya. And then the second hour, we are just going to go into, wow, Thea just left us. Second hour, we're going to go to Am I the A-Hole, a returning real or nah, a mafia video of the week, and of course, Foxy's videos of the week. Anna Hart is not feeling well tonight, so here's hoping that she gets better, and we'll see her at a later date. Thea's, how's everything going?
Everything's good on my end, man. Should have took a nap, but I forgot to. But everything's good. No real complaints.
All right. And as always, welcome or welcome back. Please hit that like button. Please comment during and after the show. Please share with others. And most importantly, I hope you all enjoy the show. Parker is here. Hey, what's up? So glad tomorrow's a holiday. It's been felt like forever since we last had a 3-day weekend, and it has been. After this point is like every other month. We'll get a holiday, and then so the next holiday is not until July. The next one after that is not until September. And then not November, December. So if you want to use that,
holiday season's here. We're halfway through the year, folks.
Yes. Also, in case anybody did not see it, let me check again before. Okay, just wait a minute. Let me reboot this before I say something stupid.
The older we get, the faster they go.
Okay. If you haven't seen the message earlier today, we hit the 400 subscriber mark yesterday. During the show, it went down to 399. And this morning is now 401. I have no idea what's going on, but cool. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for coming on and spending a little bit of your time with us. We truly appreciate it. Oh, right. You're right. Well, Juneteenth. Yeah. I forgot about Juneteenth. So, yeah, the next holiday is next month. Forgot about Juneteenth now. So, June, July, September, November, and December. And for me, I'm pretty sure there's a holiday in there somewhere where people get the day off, not me. But anyway, without further ado, let's get this party started. So let's go ahead and get into Ted Cruz, who was on CNN the past week. Video is making its rounds, and the only reason it literally is making its rounds is because he actually went up with a reporter who wasn't going to allow him to get away with the same rhetoric, who actually she did her homework too and was pushing back on Ted Cruz. But the video that's really getting around is the main, not concern, but the talking point of him not wanting to agree that he will do absolutely nothing, that he will accept the election results of the 2024 election, regardless who wins. And of course, he's pushing back on that with a bunch of anything but the answer. So it's a two-part video. Yeah. Oh, by the way, pay attention to that, Theus. It was just the Republic. So pay attention to that. But let's get into the first video real quick.
You were the first senator to object to the votes. Mm-hmm. In 2024, will you certify the election results? Do you plan to object, or will you accept the results regardless of who wins the election?
So Caitlin, I got to say, I think that's actually a ridiculous question.
It's a yes or no question, though.
No, it's not. Let me explain why it's a ridiculous question. It's not a question. Have you ever asked a Democrat that?
Of course.
What Democrat?
But what Democrats?
Hold on a second. What Democrats challenge it?
What Democrats? I know. I've been down this road many times.
But
no Democrat. You cannot compare the two situations. We have talked about that. We've seen the audio of that when they protested on the Senate floor.
Hold on a second.
But has you ever had a sitting president who refused to facilitate the peaceful transition of power, refused to acknowledge that his successor won the presidency?
So, A, we did have a peaceful transfer of power. I was there on January 20th. I was there on the swearing in.
Barely.
B, if you look at in 2000, Democrats went to the Senate, or 2001, Democrats went to the Senate floor and objected to George W. Bush. In 2004, they went and objected.
And what did the president do?
In 2016, Democrats went and objected to Donald Trump. And so...
Look, and what happened in 2016? Because I remember a guy named Joe Biden was vice president, and he went to the Senate floor and certified the votes.
So do you
Am I wrong?
So you're asking, will you promise no matter what to agree an election is illegitimate regardless of what happens? And that would be an absurd thing to claim. Like, we have an entire election law system that people challenge elections. Elections get overturned. Voter fraud gets proven. That happens all the time. And the media engages in this weird game post Donald Trump that you insist no voter fraud has ever existed. Why does every state have laws in place to challenge voter fraud if it occurs?
The media
Why do you have election challenges?
This isn't a game. There was no widespread voter fraud.
You only ask Republicans that.
Because it was Republicans who tried to block the transition of power. You have to acknowledge that.
So
we've never seen it on a scale of what happened in 2020, and we've never seen the president refused. He wouldn't even let Joe Biden get classified briefings at the beginning. I recall that.
So
my question for you again, free and fair election, will you accept the results regardless of who wins?
Look, if the Democrats win, I will accept the result, but I'm not going to ignore fraud
But was there
regardless
fraud
of what
in
happens.
2020?
Of course there was fraud in 2020.
No, there wasn't, and you still objected.
You know for a fact there was zero voter fraud. Really? What's your basis for that? Show me your evidence.
We've spoken with Governor Kemp. They did 3 hand recounts in the state of Georgia. The director of CISA said that it was the safest, most legitimate election.
But
in
you're
United
saying
States
zero
history.
voter fraud occurred. That's what
These
you
are
just said.
Nothing that would have changed the outcome
Okay,
of that
but that's a
election.
different statement.
But no, it's not. Because if
yes,
it wouldn't
it
have
is.
changed
You said there was no voter fraud.
there was no voter fraud that would have changed the outcome of the election, and you know that, Senator.
2 things I want to point out real quick. One, there was voter fraud, 0.001. I may be missing a zero, but I got that point. 0.001. Number 2, hey, Ted, who was doing the voter fraud, though? Republicans. There was people in this state and that state, but it was a Republican who was doing the fraud. So, yeah, it wasn't zero fraud, but would it be enough to change the results of the election? No. And the lady could have told the truth and said, yeah, it's a different sentence. It's the same result, though. I'm just saying it's the same thing. You're not going to ever have zero voter fraud. People are going to be people. Is it enough to change the election? No. I'm not even gonna say anything about part 2 yet, because that's when I'm just like, I was so done. So Thiz, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take it away.
Well, it's I don't know. It gonna sound a little bit like a party pooper, which is what I'm pretty good at doing. But it's all ridiculous to me. They ask the exact same question the exact same way to each politician when they've done very, very little to educate the populace, to make sure that real reporting has been done about what the Republican Party leadership has been doing in a concentrated effort across the country and in Washington, right? Like, a lot of people still don't understand what happened leading up to January 6th. So they think January 6th is just an event of that day and not a well-orchestrated plan resulting in a coup, which, of course, the court system is helping keep Jack Smith from being able to bring that case in time. So now we're not going to see that. And the Supreme Court, whatever. But she's asking this person, Ted Cruz, will you agree to accept the winner no matter who wins? You know that they will never answer that question. So you ask it. Cool. I often say, turn the lights on, make them lie to you. But the way you asked it, it wasn't serious, right? So when he comes back, because what Ted is really good at doing, he's actually a very accomplished debater. He comes back and he just plays rhetorical fetch with you. You know, look over here, look over there, look over here. Well, you missed this word. So now it's a whole other thing. Oh, I don't want to answer your question. So instead, I'm going to ask you a question and then blame you for not answering my question. It's bonkers. And Caitlin did a great job. She's a lot better than she was the first time she interviewed Donald Trump when she got ate alive on TV. She's been doing a very good job, her and George Stephanopoulos. are like the only two I can honestly say are really making these people squirm. But yeah, it's like whatever, you know. He was able to, for the people he's talking to, which is not her audience, he was able to do exactly what he wanted to do. He can look obstinate and aggressive, and that's all he needed to do. And he just would dance back and forth with, well, you said there's no fraud. She never said there was zero fraud, but he twisted the statement just enough to completely open the door for a new path. And then that's where he stayed. Because he's very smart. He's crafty like that. And I'm like, look, Caitlyn could have came back and been like, okay, let's back up. Maybe I wasn't clear enough. There wasn't enough fraud to impact the election outcome. But there was certainly some documented fraud. And when I look at the numbers here, I had my research team look at it, and 95% of the documented fraud cases in the 2020 election were by registered Republicans. What are we doing? What do you propose to do to stop Republicans from committing voter fraud?
Where's your documentation? I want to see what you talked about. I have no
Because
idea.
they just say deep state and all that other good stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Afra. How are you doing? Tracy is in the house. Say, play the clip where Ted is answering the phone for Trump after he called Cruz's wife.
Yeah, Ted has no credibility at all, and he's been called out for that so many times for being just is the word I'm not going to use, but he's been called out for that so many times. He has no shame. These Republicans that are playing at this level, they have no shame. They're all about money and access. Period. I mean, look at the clown car of, I don't know if you're going to cover this later, but the clown car of vice presidential wannabes, right? So these guys have no shame. None.
No, absolutely not. And the fraud was in favor of Trump, which is what the was coming across. Parker, no Senate Democrat didn't. No, the Senate Democrats did not even object after the 2000 election. Some House Democrats, including Jesse Jackson, objected to the results, but no senator signed on with them. And but the funny thing about that, Parker, and I totally agree with what you're saying, is again, he's playing that zero though. But you're saying no Democrat, even if a few did, so it still was not on the scale of what y'all did. It was just, it's not. It wasn't. It wasn't a talking point every time a microphone was stuck in your face. On the radio, on television, you had ass out. It was never, ever on that scale. And that's what she was trying to get through to your head. But never mind. It did get through your head. You just don't care. Because that's not what you want to talk about. You're trying to downplay it. So, yeah. So it's not like you don't know. And Tracy, I know exactly what you called Cruz's wife ugly. I mean, it's no... Cruz... This is the same guy who hundreds of thousands of houses power went out during one of the worst snowstorms that Texas have ever had. And this dude got caught fit to get on a plane with him, his wife, and his kids to go to Cancun. And the minute that he got caught, what's the first thing out of his mouth? Blame the kids.
Well, here's the beautiful thing about that right there. Ted Cruz blamed his kids. Justice Alito blames his wife. Justice Thomas blames his wife. These guys would just blame somebody else in the family and keep it going.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Of course, you also got the Democrat who's blaming his wife for the gold bars in the closet. So,
yeah. Also in 2000, the deciding states was Florida, which was decided by like 500 votes. The 2020 election was decided by like 3 states and around 41,000 votes collectively. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that though. So, and there was no insurrection after the 2000 election. Thank you. Because you noticed something that he said was, it was a peaceful transfer of power in January 26th. So
so 2 weeks later, it was cool.
That January 6th thing though, right? So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna
But that's the game. That's the game. Because that's why, and her comeback was barely. No, that's not. No. The transition of power is as the president moves from one president to the other. And in that process, you have one president, first president documented in American history, to stage a coup against his own government to stay in power. That's not a one-day event, Senator Cruz, and you know that. So January 6th is part of the transition period for January 21st. Everything that happened from the election in November to January 21st is the transition period. And during that time, it was not peaceful. And your candidate is the one who led the problem. But anyway, it's CNN. So the people who agree already agree, and the people who disagree already disagree.
According to him and other Republicans, if they win, all Vice President Harris has to do is not oversee the transfer of power. I'm not even going to do the vice president thing, because now, trust me, don't y'all cut this out, because I ain't gonna use it but so many times. But wow, I can't even remember who was Trump's vice president.
Pence.
Yeah, Pence was ready. Pence was gonna do it. So we ain't gonna do the vice president thing. Pence was like, look,
he just needed somebody to say, okay,
we lost. It's over with. Let's go. Now, too bad that your president damn near got you killed, or at the very least wasn't gonna stop it if it happens. But at least I'm not gonna put that on Pence. That's all a good thing I'm gonna say about Pence, though, bro.
But the thing about it, though, by that logic, you see, the Republicans, they're cynical and they're very intelligent. That's why, for as long as y'all know me, I keep telling you, stop selling your opponent as being like they're dumb or something. They're not. If they were dumb, they wouldn't be winning. Okay? So they know that the Democrats have a role to play in this theater. And the Democrats' role is to protect the norms, which means that the Democrats are restrained by the rules. So the Republicans can do whatever they want because they've already taken on the role of the villain, right? So they can do whatever they want to do and then still look at the Democrats and say, you're supposed to be the good guys. You can't do that too. Because by their logic, Biden can say, I'm not leaving. Sue me. Let's go to court. Right? That by their logic, that's what he could do. But they know that the Democrats won't do that. The Democrats will take the loss and they will be the minority party making money by causing irritation. And they know that's what's going to happen. So they're like, whatever, we'll cheat. You guys play by the rules. Sorry, man.
You don't want to be like us. We know you don't want to be like us. And if you are like us, then we'll call you out for trying to be like us. Same game.
Yep.
Different people, different century, different year, same plan. But let's go ahead and get to the second video, which this is the one that just like irked the crap out of me. He has precedents of doing what he did. He does have precedents of stopping the transfer of power for 10 days, putting a committee together, things like that. But man, come on, Cruz. You had to dig deep for this one, dude.
So what I know is that what I stood on the Senate floor and objected, what I called for, I'll tell you, I wrestled with what to do in that circumstance. And the reason I wrestled with it is because I think there was significant voter fraud in 2020. And
you wanted the 10-day commission, I know, but was there voter fraud that would have changed the outcome of the election? But do you know why I wanted a 10-day commission?
Because I tried to look, I'm a Supreme Court litigator. I argue cases in front of the Supreme Court.
I know.
I tried to look through history and precedent, and the best precedent I could find was the election of 1876. 1876 was between Rutherford B. Hayes and Samuel Tilden. And what happened there were serious allegations of voter fraud, and Congress didn't throw its hands up and say, you know what? CNN demanded that I accept the results no matter what, so ignore the fraud. I got to go. But hold on. What did Congress do in 1876? What did Congress do in 1876?
How did the president handle it?
What did Congress do in 1876?
Senator, I have to know, you can't answer yes or no to this question.
I'm asking a question. What did Congress do in 1876?
You can't answer yes or no to this question. And Republicans,
can you answer my question? Why are you refusing to answer my question?
I'm conducting the interview with all due respect, Senator. And let me ask you, it's Republicans have twisted themselves in knots. It's just a yes or no question.
I'm not twisting myself. I'm answering your question. You just don't like my answer.
And what's your answer? Is it yes or is it no?
So in 1876, what Congress did is it appointed an election commission. It consisted of 15 people. 5 House members, 5 senators, 5 Supreme Court justices. The Election Commission was charged with studying the evidence and making a determination of what voter fraud occurred, and that determined the winner. And what I called for in 2020 was to do the same thing, appoint an election commission, and 11 senators joined me.
Senator, with all due respect, after it had been thrown out of many courts, after the Attorney General Bill Barr, because there was no basis for those court cases.
No, so that's actually
Senator,
not.
with all due respect,
you asked me a question. Do you want me to answer it?
And you didn't answer the question.
Yes, I did.
Court cases were thrown out.
Hold on a second.
The Attorney General said there was no widespread fraud. You're not clearly answering the question. I want to thank you for that.
I'm answering every question. I think the country would have been a lot better off with a determination of what evidence of voter fraud there was that occurred, and instead the media didn't want to hear it and insist voter fraud never occurs. You ought to go back and look at the Carter-Baker Commission.
It was the Attorney General, and my question was about
it was the media. It was CNN that relentlessly pushed that propaganda. And by the way,
never propaganda? That there was no widespread fraud in the election?
That voter fraud doesn't exist, and anyone who says it does is wearing a tinfoil hat. That is propaganda. And by the way, you never asked Hillary Clinton this. You never asked Stacey Abrams this. You never asked Al Gore this.
With all due respect,
and every one of them said the Republicans who won were illegitimate.
I haven't had any of them on my show. We'll talk to them. But I don't remember there being a president who was refusing to turn over the transition of power and facilitate it.
And Trump didn't either. Joe Biden became president.
My question was about 2024. You did not answer it.
Let me say a final point for you. You said they haven't come.
Thank you very much, Senator Ted Cruz.
My opponent, Colin Allred, hasn't either. He ought to come to your show.
Senator Ted Cruz, no answer to that question. Thank you very much.
So check this out real quick. That whole thing irritated the hell out of me.
Told you.
Anytime anybody, left, right, center, wherever they might sit, reaches back into what I call ancient history to say what we should be doing today, I'm already not hearing you, right? Because, well, what did they do in 1860, whatever? Have slaves? I mean, dude, Ted Cruz, at the time that you are citing, you couldn't vote. So you citing a law that is so outdated, it shouldn't even be in the conversation. You, sir, are out of line. So no. And if you feel like there needs to be new precedent, then let's run something. Because I'm like this, man. Congress is supposed to rewrite the laws and redo and update things over time. Do your job. Do your job. And that will take care of all of this. But y'all don't want to do your job. It's ridiculous. What did they do in 1779? I don't know. Die of dysentery? I don't know, man. What?
Okay. My guy. And I use that term very loosely. First of all, I'll be amazed at how long it took you to go way back to, what was it, 1876. Then you want to have a gotcha question. Do you know what they did in 1876? No, because I wouldn't use that form of logic to try to study what happened to 1876. When Black people couldn't vote because they was already property, where women couldn't vote, where people who don't own land couldn't vote, where indigenous people couldn't vote. But yeah, let's go on back there to 1876 for you to tell us what happened or should be going on in 2024. Why would I listen to a bunch of people who didn't even have bathroom and damn near none had electricity? But let's go back there to get what's going on here.
Yeah,
or
they act like the people from the past are some kind of geniuses.
right.
They're
It
no
is,
smarter than the people here.
but let's go ahead and do that. Then you want to get you a gotcha question. You know what happened in 1876? Hell no, I don't, because that's not the question that's on the table right now. That's literally not the question that was on the table. It literally start all this witch thing that you doing and propaganda and tinfoil hats all started with that simple question at the beginning of this conversation. Will you accept the election results of 2024 regardless who wins? Yes or no? You went on, and I had to break it up. So that was actually a 4 minute and 51 second of a longer conversation, by the way. I'll just give you the snippet that's been going around. A 5 minute and 51, almost a 6 minute conversation from one question that to this time you still didn't answer.
And then he created a straw man argument. So like it's right, and this is all about access because I'm like, you only booked Cruz so it could have these follow-up stories. So people like us will talk about it, and the YouTube community will talk about it, and all that. That's the only reason you booked it, because you knew you weren't trying to get nothing out of this cat. There's nothing you can get out of Ted Cruz. He's been a joke since he got there. Okay, so why didn't you go get the Republican who led the drafting of the immigration reform bill? Because he actually has some sense. I don't agree with him, but he's got some sense. Book him and ask him what he thinks about the election. Go get the people who have some common sense and put them in front of the microphone. But you don't want to do that because that's not going to get your ratings up. Nobody knows who Senator Boo Boo is. You know what I'm saying? They know who Senator Cruz is.
We only know that because he was the one who ended. Okay. They're literally doing what they can to use those laws from the 1800s and 1700s, and it may be successful. Yeah, I get what you said, Alfred, but the fact that you have to go back centuries to pick an obscure law who, funny thing about it is, and not, no, I literally do not have, if I'm saying it's correct, but I'm pretty sure it's even been turned into a blue law or has been changed in some type of way. But we live in a country where they don't take books off they don't take laws out the books. They just ignore them, or that's pretty much
Which is
it.
how we get. Which
Ignore
is
them.
why we have these abortion laws that are kicked in from the 1800s. But because it's not just the Arizona one, there was another one that kicked in from the 1800s. But yeah, that's true. I'm with you there. But it's still, all of this was a masquerade. It was all a masquerade. You got nothing out of this interview, nothing at all. You knew going in he would never say it. So it actually would have derailed the whole interview if he had said, "Yes, of course I'll accept it." She'd have been like, so
He did at one point say, "I'll accept it," but y'all know the whole saying. But the minute you say "but," it negates everything that you said before. But, and that's exactly what he did. I'll accept it, but for you to believe that there's no fraud that went on and everything else, and I'm not going to tell the lady what to do, but I was just being repeat myself over and over again, just like what he did. Hey, yes, there was fraud, but done mostly by Republicans, but still wasn't enough to change the results of the election. But you're saying zero. No, one, I never did say zero, and two, even if I did say zero, it still would have came up with the same results, 0 or 0.001. None of those numbers would have been enough to change the results of the election. And you have had 63 cases that's been thrown out or been tossed out or whatever. You only won one case, and that was just to change the date. Can't even remember the state. The date to turn in the Help me out, Parker. You know what I'm talking about. You only won one case out of 64 cases.
It was a
All of them
technicality
found
or procedural
fraud.
thing.
So what are you talking about? I mean, but yeah, in the end, you would have never got somebody who would have just said, yeah, I'll accept it. I'm talking to CNN now. I want to go back and get a special field order number 15 reinstated. What?
Field Order 15, wasn't that the 40 acres and a mule? Pretty sure that's what that was.
Oh, good luck with that.
No, I mean, I get what she's saying because since we're going back and digging up old stuff, you know, but the real answer is we need a reparations bill. But the thing is, there's no reason. Just tell them what it is. There's absolutely no reason for America to give us reparations as it currently stands because we have not come together. It's too easy to ignore us. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's our leverage, right? So I am passionate about we need to build our leverage. We should have been building our leverage all this daggone time, but unfortunately, our unique path here in America has taught us not to be a collective, but it's taught us to be individuals. And so every time someone has success, every time someone accumulates wealth or power or influence, they do it as an individual in our community. They do not do it as a member of the Black community. So if we want reparations, if we want meaningful criminal justice reform, if we want, I don't know, what other things do we want? I don't know. Whatever it is that we want, all we have right now are demands. No consequence. What are we gonna do? We're gonna act up? Okay, they'll lock you up. Oh, we can't lock you up, then we'll kill you. It's all there is to it. But what we need to be able to do is do like our Jewish cousins do like some of our Latino brothers and sisters can do, right? I don't know if you guys remember this. I think it was during Obama's administration when they were doing all that crackdown on immigration. And for one day, immigrants across the country didn't go to work. They feel like I ain't going. And America felt it. Because you got to play where you have a position. Labor is where the Latinos have some pull or influence. Ours is entertainment. That's our biggest place that we can play. And that's our music, our sports. If we refuse to perform until certain things happen, America will pay attention because we own that space. We don't own the businesses that drive it, but we're the only thing that makes those things move. Right? And we're watching as our power there is even diminishing because they're finding ways to just take our sound and take our music and completely do it through automated ways. So they don't need the people anymore. So once that happens, oh, we're screwed. Okay. And if they ever get rid of football and basketball, right? Because we ain't even in baseball no more. We are so dead in the water. So we have to find a way to come together, organize, and work together. That's part of what I'm trying to do with our United Core, even though our United Core is not all about the Black community, but there's organizations out there that are. We got to do something, man. Because this thing where all we do is say, well, you and me to my great grandmother, and you owe me. No. Now what? Well, I won't spend my money with you. Yes, you will.
Yeah, you will.
Because most of you, the vast majority of you, live at or below the poverty line. Or those of you who aren't at the poverty line, you're not in the wealth line. So you're still middle class. What does that mean? That means that 80 to 90% of your dollars goes towards buying things you have to have. So tell me again this wonderful fantasy about you're not going to spend money somewhere. Come on.
Yeah, you will. You know you will. All right.
There ain't no choice.
Let's go ahead and move on to our next story. President Biden did host the president of Kenya, President Ruto, which I'm pretty sure somebody's going to say, no, that's not his name, but I'm just going by how it's spelled. We're going to look at the outcome and what's to come from that. So let's get into it.
Yeah, but let's just talk about the strategy here, the strategy behind this state dinner. Why Kenya's president and why now?
I think this President Biden wanted to really make a point here that he was focused on the entire African continent and that he has found a real partner, he thinks, in the Kenyan president. When you listen to just kind of the breadth of issues that these two men are working on together, you get a sense that this has become a real fruitful partnership. Not only are they talking about investment, tech investment, they're talking about things like counterterrorism work on the African continent together. They're talking about how Kenya has agreed with the United States and been a strong supporter and ally of Ukraine and its fight against Russia. They're talking about, obviously, a big project together, a project's an understatement, I mean, a huge undertaking, trying to work on a global peacekeeping mission in Haiti. A lot of questions devoted at that press conference to Kenya's sort of commitment to leading an international peacekeeping force there on Haiti to try to combat gang violence, and the U.S. really supporting that effort, financially supporting it, giving logistics and equipment. So I think that a big part of the state visit was to showcase that this has become a true partnership across the board, and to celebrate that, and to let sort of the Kenyan president really have his day here in Washington, not only meeting with the president, the Oval Office visit, the state dinner tonight, but also yesterday he was meeting with House Speaker Mike Johnson. It was a real celebration of what I think has become a real partnership, Kira.
So, Selena, kind of walk us through the partnership here between these countries and the U.S. I mean, clearly kind of playing catch up here with China.
Yeah, Kira, exactly. You're seeing the president really roll out the red carpet here for the first state visit of an African leader in more than 15 years. And you're right, the U.S. here is trying to counter China's influence in the region. China has far outpaced the U.S. in terms of investments in Kenya and the African continent. And the president really making a pitch here that the U.S. can be a more reliable partner. One of the key parts of this new announcement, new partnership, is plans to help developing countries in Africa relieve debt. China has made huge investments. They've made major loans, high interest loans to low-income countries in Africa, and many of them saddled with a lot of debt. So this is a big part of that partnership, but it's not just in terms of trying to counter China's financial leverage and influence in the region. They also had major announcements in terms of emerging technologies, semiconductors, artificial intelligence. The president said that he wants Kenya to be the first African nation to receive funding from the CHIPS and Science Act. They're also increasing people-to-people ties, and in the security realm as well. The U.S. here, the president really wanting to show that the president is keeping his word on the commitment to the African continent, and also this state visit and rolling out the red carpet, also somewhat of a fig leaf to the Kenyan leader. He had promised to visit the African continent sometime in 2023. That obviously has not happened. The president did say he hopes to visit next year, but obviously that hinges on his re-election, Kira.
All right, Selena Wang, Mary Alice Parks, thank you both so much.
Take it away, Theos. I'll go second.
All right. So two things I think. First thing I'm gonna say is, folks, pay attention. This is how politics is done. Kenya is striking a deal with the big Satan to get something out of the moment. That's how politics are done. You get some concessions. At the same time, the word that out of all the things they said, counterterrorism, that was the thing. That is code for military forward operating base. So Kenya's going to allow U.S. presence and military troops, which we already do. We already got a base there. But Kenya's going to do that. And Kenya's going to risk some of their own people's lives to go and try to deal with Haiti. And in exchange for that, America's going to give them money and give them some economic base that really America still owns, but they're able to extract the wealth but they can get some money into the country as well. That's really what's going on there. The other thing about it is there's 52, 54 countries in Africa, and you pick Kenya. Okay, I ain't no hate there. Go ahead, work the deal out. There's a lot of countries you're ignoring there, bro. And America's in other countries, don't get me wrong, but this is the first time you had one at the White House in what did they say, 10 years or something? So,
15
so
years.
it's the game within the game. So that's one. Number two, this ain't got nothing to do with us as black folk. Okay? Now, black diaspora, yeah, cool. You know, the world is our home and we should be aware. But this whole enough for African Americans, you know what I mean? I'm just looking at it like, I see what's going on. Kenya, I can't blame you for doing what you're doing because, hey, you got to be at the table in order to, you know, say and get something. So, hats off. But don't try to use this as another speaking point to the black community leading into the elections. See, y'all do this every single election cycle. You do these little fake, almost gestures and have us buy into the symbolism of something that you're doing when we don't actually get any direct effect or positive benefit from it here locally. This is nothing for us. So, come on, man.
Just to piggyback on, I don't mean to cut you off, just to piggyback on exactly what you were saying, Sister Anna. I've been saying this for the longest time, and apparently it comes up in different ways and different stories, but black folks, I want you to pay attention what she said and what I'm going to repeat. Look at the timing of it all. This has nothing to do. I'm agreeing with this. This has nothing to do with African Americans in this country. Nothing. If we get something out of it, I guarantee you it was a byproduct. It wasn't the general thing, which is what they're trying to make us feel like we're doing it for all the black people around the world. No, they're not. But if you were, okay, let me just put another bug in your ear then. Look at the timing. What's the big event that's coming up in November? Thea said it earlier. We're halfway through the year. Look at the timing. If you're not going to look at anything else, because y'all missed that little part of, yeah, I was supposed to visit y'all in 2023.
I'll do it next time.
Some came up, but I'll see you in 2025. Oh, wait a minute. But the only way that I'll be able to visit you in 2025 is I'm still president in 2025. So,
but now I'm not taking away from, like I said, this is how politics is done. Okay, if we were on our business, if we were about our business, African Americans, if we were on our business right now, this is when we would be getting concessions. We wouldn't just be getting talking points. We would actually be getting something because this is when they need us, right? It's insulting that they wait until now. They ignore us for 3 years and they come talk to us in the last 6 to 7 months of an election cycle. That's insulting. I get it, but I also understand why. It goes back to my prior rant about us not having any power. Okay, so the only thing that we have to offer is our bodies, our vote. That's all we have to offer. So we're last in line as far as who you're trying to talk to. Okay, so I get that. But that being said, we should get something out of this, but we do not have an organized method to do that. We cannot make a demand for anything. Go on social media and say you stand for anything. We will be so anti because it's just what we do Because if you don't have, it's always easy to be against something. It's very hard to be for something. So as soon as someone comes out and says, here's my plan for educational reform, all the social media yahoos are going to sit there and tell you why it's wrong, why it ain't going to work. Here's the problem with it. You just this, you just that. And it's going to be all negative. Instead of us having some way to say that, hey, this came out of our think tank, right? Almost every other major group in America has well-funded think tanks. They don't do nothing but take the smartest people and have them think of stuff. And then they have another group of people try to make it happen. We do not have that. We must build that. We need think tanks. We got like one right now, and it doesn't even get any real respect. The one that that Dr. Claude Anderson built, right? And he's treated like some fringe cat, so he gets ignored even though he's trying to work for us. I don't always agree with him. At least I agree with what he's trying to do. That's where our interest is. I'm at the point, bro, real talk, that yes, December, change your registrations. That's across the board. Black, white, Latino, Asian, whatever your any level of ability, sexual preference, gender identity, all of us, come December, everybody unregister for whatever party affiliation you have. Everybody go independent. Make these people come to you and beg you for their vote and give you some concessions and put some stuff on paper that they're going to negotiate with you to get you to vote for them because they can't figure out where to go to get to you, right? I'm on that. For the Black people, we have to invest in our organizations. There are organizations that are out there. Go find one and join it. And if you can't find one to join, make one. This is serious. We're past time. We are late. I'm just saying, I'm tired of us like screaming into the wind, trying to get people who have no conscience. You have no evidence of human decency over 300 years. And you think that you're going to just continue to whine to them and say, do better, please. No.
Why wait until December? Why not change as soon as your primary ends?
Well, the reason I would say wait until December is because I know who I'm trying to talk to, right? Me asking for people to do this in December is already a big lift because people are not comfortable with doing something they're not used to doing. And with the stakes being as high as they are going into November, changing it now, it really won't do much.
She's saying why don't we just, as soon as the election is over, like the very next day?
And that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it could do it. Very next day, go ahead and do it. I said December for the reason why I say December is because when the election happens, that's just the day. And then we have like 3 weeks or so where you're still trying to figure out final tallies and final votes, and things can get moved here and there, and they'll be fast tracking different court cases, and it'll be really loud. It's going to be really, really loud. But come December, we're heading into Christmas. Nothing moves in America during December. Things get real quiet. So that's, to me, the best time to do that because it'll become a news story and it'll be picked up. If it's not picked up by all the news stations, it never happened, right? And then come January, we'll be right back into, inauguration time and, are the Trump people going to be violent again and all that. And then come February, we're too far removed. Nobody does anything. So that's why I say December. But
oh, okay. She's saying the primary election.
Well, we've missed the primaries.
Yeah, the general election is next. That's November.
Yeah, that's November, right? So, in my view, it's too late for changing your party affiliation to matter at this point, right? And then just changing your affiliation in December, that's, for many people, that'll be enough, okay? Because that's something you can quickly and easily do. the real work for those of us who are serious, it's ongoing. We have to organize. We have to start clicking up and finding people of similar interests and similar policy positions and fleshing that out and having local think tanks and local meetings and all of those different things. But we're just battling it out amongst ourselves to figure out what it is that we really want, so that when these people come into your communities, they'll have to come. They'll have to spend money. The DNC and the RNC will have to spend money to come to you because they can't find you because you're not registered as a group, right? So when they come, you got to be ready to say something to them, and that's the harder part. Everybody ain't gonna be part of that.
And I'm gonna answer Afra. I'm gonna give Afra my answer to her question. You can vote for anyone during the general election, so there's no need to wait until December. And no, some of us still have primary elections that haven't happened. I'm gonna just go ahead and just be real with you, Afra, and what's gonna remind you. I'm not lying. What is gonna remind you to do that? Why we say after the general election? Because it's something big, it's something eventful, it's something that okay, I'm telling you, as soon as this is over with, I can remember that I need to go ahead and be an independent. But you can do it now, and we can say this until all the way through all the other primaries. We can say it all the way up to the general election, and then you remember that summertime is going on. After the summertime, what's next? School is starting. After that, now we got Thanksgiving. After that, now we got Christmas. Well, December, but yeah, that's December. But I'm saying we're putting it on an event that people can easily remember, because if we say, no, you need to go ahead and do it now, how many of y'all actually going to go and do it now? How many of y'all actually is going to even remember come Tuesday? Because we already know tomorrow is Memorial Day, so you can't go do it now. I mean, tomorrow. So let's go to Tuesday.
Well, I would also say if you want to do it now, then do it now. But like Marlon was saying, this is about collective effort, collective action, right? If you want to drive a news story, it has to be a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Theus changing his registration means nothing to anyone, right? But it's fine. You'll still be part of that bigger number, right? So if it's better to do it now, then I'm all for it. Do it now, right? Because I have no love for any of these parties, like none of them. So I get it. That's cool to do it now. As an individual, that's what you want to do. But what I'm trying to, and I'm definitely not the best voice for it, right? I get that. But what I'm trying to do is get people to think beyond individual action and think about collective action. Stop trying to be a warrior of one. Stop trying to be a revolutionary of one. You need to get with other revolutionaries. You got to get with other soldiers, right? You get a bunch of soldiers together, you have an army. You go out there by yourself, you're just, I don't know. I don't know. You just out there, right? So yes, we got to do things as individuals, but I'm saying that we have to develop a collective mindset. The issues that confront us are big enough that there's a lot of people who will fall under those umbrellas, and we need to work together in unison on things to get to bigger things, right? This is a small thing. If people can just say, okay, yeah, month of December, boom, I'm changing my thing because I'm part of this thing. Because if you look at it, there's other people besides me saying this. So yeah, I'm part of this thing, right? That's the first step of collective action. Seeing yourself as part of a group. That's why when you have protests, all those people come out, y'all don't know each other, but you coming out there because you have a shared interest. That's mobilizing. So what I'm saying is mobilizing. We also had to move into organizing, and that's going to be a much smaller group. The organizing people are the ones that are going to be like, these are our demands, right? Because we can sit here and say something, and the bigger group behind us is going to do what we say. But that takes a lot of effort and a lot of work, especially when you're trying to build something with people who are stuck on being individuals, which is what we are.
Yeah, and after to answer this question, and that's what Diaz was saying. That's what I did a series on, not a series, but I did a video of it when we was talking about it. Is we want a mass exodus. We want something that's going to be on the blip of the Democratic Party. One or two people doing it, yeah, I get it. But they ain't gonna pay attention to one or two people doing it. It's just gonna be like, oh, well, I didn't know you existed when you was a Democrat. So, okay. Okay. But an abundance of people. And by the way, I like how Theus was saying, not just a black community, even though I disagree on that. I just know it ain't gonna happen. I kind of would like to see a mass exodus of Democrats changing the independence. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, when you saying, I am saying that. I am saying more than just black people.
Well, you were saying blacks and Latinos and Asians and everything else. I was just focused on the black community during the mass exodus.
Yeah. I feel you. But one of the unique issues with us in the black community is that we are individuals. Yeah. Right? Nobody's a monolith, right? I'm not a monolith. Okay, yeah, no one is a monolith. But yeah, y'all. Okay, right? When we talk about how the police engage with different groups, they're looking at you as a group. You're a monolith. Okay? You're worried with you fall into this segment of the population as far as income, housing, and all these different things. Even though you might be near the top of the strata, you're still in that bubble of a group. You're a monolith. You're a structure. You're a thing, right? And being a monolith, I mean, I think it gets a bum rap, right? Because when the Jewish community is trying to move something, they don't come out on TV and argue all over social media about, well, we're not a monolith. They say, this is what we want. You did this, we want this. And it's like 2 or 3 factions, and they're all saying what they want, but it's only 2 or 3 factions. And those 2 or 3 factions are very well organized, and they're working really hard together because they have decided together we can do something. So you got 3 monoliths. I don't care. In the black community, we don't have any of it. What black leader do we hearken to? That's a lie.
In the 2028 presidential Democratic primary, do you think it's worth it to be able to participate in the election? And my answer is it's too early for me to answer that question. It's too early. You're talking about 4 years from now. I don't know.
4 years is a heartbeat, bro.
I understand how quick it can go, but I still wouldn't have an answer to what's going to happen in 4 years from now. I just don't.
Yeah, I feel you because I'm of 2 minds, Parker. So if Trump wins, and I don't mean to sound hyperbolic, but if Trump wins, my advice to the black community, the immigrant community, to anybody who considers yourself to be part of these vulnerable groups, I hope you got passports. I hope you can save up some money, or you can leverage your property, or you can get the hell out of here. Okay? Because it's going to be a hot mess. And for those of us who stay, it's going to be a hot mess. See, that's the thing. Like these independent thinkers and these third partiers, hate not to be too hard on them or anything, but this I got to do it my own way because I can't rock with these people over here, despite what the situation is. Here's the problem with that. Under the Democrats, you're disgusted by them because of how corrupt they are. I know you are, because I am. Okay? I can organize better with Biden as president than I can organize with Trump as president. I'll get more people to hear me with Trump as president because all the chaos and all that stuff going on. But that's not what I want. I want people who are thinking and are building and getting solid, right? So Biden gives you time to do stuff like that. The Democrats give you time to do that. We haven't taken the time to do it. In the last 20 years, we've had plenty of time to get into a better position than we are, and we have not done it. Trump gets in office, what's he going to do? This ain't about scare tactics. It's about what's real. What's he going to do? He's going to gut the FBI and put his flunkies in there. What has he done in the past? He took people who were deputized that we don't even know who they are and had them running around arresting protesters. How you going to organize if they designate you a protester? How you going to organize? What you going to do? Right? Then they're talking about mass deportations, millions of people. Have you ever stopped to think what it would take to deport millions of people in a process? You think about that? That means they're coming in your church. And if you sound like you have an accent, you need to show your papers. That means they're coming on your job. That means they're going in your child's school. That's why that means they're going into the daycares. That means they're going through the hospitals. That means they're rounding up everybody everywhere who look like they ethnic. Stole your papers. And if you know your history, when's the last time that you heard of show your papers and it ended up in a good place? So miss me with the Democrats and the Republicans are the same. This is why we need Biden to win. We need Biden to win so that we have more time to do something with it. Trump ain't gonna give you no time. But at this point, I ain't trying to change your mind. You do what you're gonna do. But I'm serious. If you can afford to get out of this country, get out of this country. Get out. Get out. And if you can't afford it, good luck to all of us.
Hunker down.
Because I swear, if Trump wins, I will not be on here talking like I'm talking. You can dead that. Because he does not put up with dissenting views. And if you think they ain't gonna go running through YouTube and scrub for any and everything they can find, you a fool. So, nah. But that's all right. Vote for it. Well.
Ooh. All right, last comment for the night. The last primary is like January 8th. Like I said, Alfred, if you want to do it right after that, that's fine. That's June 8th. June 8th. And that's fine. That's it. Alfred has the last comment of the first hour. We're going to go ahead and take our 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Here you are, baby. Fresh baked pie, just for you.
Where did you get this?
I baked it from scratch.
We don't have an oven.
God helped me.
Joseph, please.
You see how that sounds, Mary?
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. A breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free. Finally, finally, finally. the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Till my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I wanna be free. Finally, I wanna be free. I had to burn you. I'm rising. I'm soaring above it. It all. I just wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free. I wanna be free.
I am back. Thears will be back in a few minutes. So while he's waiting on him, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to patreon.com/Tracy Media Fan. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to Anna Hart's website, BorelliEtc.com. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. Please do not forget to go to Thears' website, Our United Core Communities Building Movements. Help support Thears and all of his endeavors. And if you need to reach me, you can do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com. And going through the movement of what I was given, we are going to go ahead and finish up some of these questions before we go on to anything else. No, let me go to this one first. You can't be serious. He did not scrub the YouTube before, so all of a sudden he will. I wouldn't put it past him, Tracy. Would you? I told you there's a real big difference between I wish he would and he actually does. So.
And Tracy, here's why I'm saying yes, I am serious. The difference between before and now. See, things don't stay as they were. I know people who are more of a conservative bend are trying to keep things as they were, like that's ever an option. It's never an option. And I'm going by what he says. He has said that when he is in office, he will take over the FCC and the FTC. Okay? The FCC is the one that matters in this moment, so that he can remove the licensure for major networks. Okay. Now, if he can do that, why would he not also have his FCC crack down on social media? Because YouTube is just social media. And if you can go after TikTok, then you can go after Facebook, YouTube, and anybody else. So I'm not saying something that's far-fetched. I'm actually going off of what he says, and then also looking at his temperament and the way that he conducts himself. On top of that, he says he will, because he has the authority to do so, change up the FBI and the bureaucratic system across the government. Anybody who is subject to the executive branch, he can fire, and he can put people in place to hire whomever he wants. Furthermore, in his first administration, he did not even bother getting people into actual positions. He would have acting people in these positions. So he doesn't even have to waste the time to get Congress to agree with anything. He's already done this before. So I'm using what he's done, and I'm looking at who he is, and I'm looking at his plan, right? For 2025 that came out of the Heritage Foundation, the think tank, who gave you the Supreme Court that is now overturning rules left and right like there's no tomorrow. So what I'm saying is not far-fetched at all. In fact, it's more logical and reasonable than thinking that it'll just be another 4 years like every other 4 years.
All right. Alfred has the two questions. Change party affiliations to independence for Independence Day, and can still market with Independence Day or the day after your primary election. And Alfred, cool. Go for it. Organize it. That's my ending point. Organize it. And saying it on this show, and again, I'm not busting the 401 people that we got subscribed here. If we can get 401 people to do it, that's cool. But we got to get it out on a large scale. And now you're saying it'll be great, and it would be great to change affiliations for the 4th of July. I think it would make a huge impact. 4th of July, everybody goes independent. Forget it. Independence, independent voters, Independence Day. I get it. However, we're almost at June.
Yeah, so I don't know if you want to do it this July or next July. I'm on board with either one. It doesn't get in the way of what I'm saying. December is very, very arbitrary. I'm choosing December for the reasons that I already explained, and for the methodology of the teachers that I follow. So I follow in the footsteps, or I try to anyway, of Kwame Ture and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And these are people who focus not just on showing up to do something, but actually building something that can carry itself in the quote unquote off season, something that's always working. But before you can get people to operate on that level, you have to first make the unconscious conscious, right? And that's not an easy task. So that's why I choose December, just because it's something. So 4th of July can be that something as well. I'm not opposed to that. It's just going to be the work that goes into marketing it and pushing it and getting people on board. 100% with you.
They are currently able to go out to TikTok because it's owned and operated by a foreign government with spyware features as the main operating protocol versus a private company that's subject to U.S. laws. So to go back to what we were saying about YouTube, why they going after TikTok is a bunch of crap. They're going after because it's an effective tool to make them look like fools, and they want to shut it down. I have no idea what. Oh yeah, they
don't want to shut TikTok down.
Well, they want to shut it down. I apologize. They don't want to shut it down. They want to control it. Sorry. They want
the information.
Yeah. Sorry, you're right. They want to control it because their main focus is they want it to be sold to or controlled by an American company in America.
And think about this. Why? All right, right? Because this is what the basis of this pushback is. In America, we have independent free capital, or whatever you want to call it. So if that is true, why would the U.S. government be concerned about getting it out of the hands of the Chinese government and putting it into private industry in America? Why would that matter? Because in theory, the government can't make a private company do anything, right? Because that's the whole pushback to what I'm saying. So that shows you, no, they have authority, and that's called the FTC. And that's one of the other aspects of the government that Trump has said that he is going to take over, the Federal Trade Commission. And that impacts that.
So to answer the question of, do you really think they would go scrub through YouTube? Yeah. They'll find a reason to.
Y'all making it seem like it's going to be a person. It's called an algorithm. Okay?
Yeah.
They just plug it in, and whatever word choice they want filters back, and then they follow up from there. I don't know if anybody remembers. Remember Black Identity Extremist? That was a fun term that they used to have for us. How do you think they came about that?
I don't know, but the funniest thing I got when they was trying to use the algorithm for all right wing parties, and it was trying to find titles, they was trying to find slogans, they was trying to find more rigid, which kudos to you. At least you was trying to find something new. So way to go for that one. And they got so mad at the algorithm because it wouldn't give them anything. It's like, we I don't have anything for you, dude. This is all we have because technically the algorithm is stuff that is already out there. It's new to you. You're the one to answer the questions, but to the algorithm itself, yeah, we're just giving you stuff that we've seen billions and billions of times, and we're giving you the results from the numbers of billions and billions of times that have been read, been written, been cross-referenced, all this other stuff, and we're just giving it to you. So if you're not coming up with anything brand new, come up with something brand new. We can only do but so much. And the right-wing Trump, they was mad. Oh, they were so upset. Oh, now all of a sudden the algorithm that they was trying to use for their sole purposes is now all of a sudden deep state and democratically used. And I was like, you used it for never mind.
Yeah, but the beauty of all of this, I wish, like I said, some people just want to be anti, and there's not much that can be done there. And there's a value to people who approach things that way because they make you look at things, right? Because they're pushing back. But that's about all the value I can see in it, because unless you also have a plan, and what? Plan doesn't have to be good. Plan doesn't even have to be perfect. Do you have one? Have you looked at, if I do this, what happens next, and then what happens next, and what might the other side do to respond to each of these things that I'm coming up with? See, that's how you think forward and you develop a plan. Just bearing your head and saying something will or will not happen, that's not enough, because you can't drive anything that way, right? If Trump goes into office, what are some of the things that he has pledged to do? If he does this thing, how might that affect my life? How might that affect this person's life or this group? And then you just kind of keep thinking down that line. I need more people to do that. I don't see why that is such a hard lift for a lot of people, but unfortunately it is. It's critical.
All right. Let's move on, everybody. Am I the a-hole? Now, all you people that went out there and tattletaled on me, and I'm just joking, of course, but I'm going to finish my joke. So all you people that went out there and tattletaled on me, the Anna, that I keep rushing the show on the serious topics just to get to the Reddit stories.
You mean like you just did?
I did not. We're 24 minutes into the second hour. Did not. No, y'all ain't gonna get on me. I did what I promised. I did not rush anybody. Not one person. Oh, see, I'm still not ready. You also don't share all your strategy with the opposition, but they keep out of plenty publicly because people don't believe them.
Oh, what I'm giving everybody right now, this is so surface level, is ridiculous. But that's all people are really ready to process. If they're willing to process some of what I'm saying anyway. But yeah, I'm 100%. You can't go out and tell your enemy everything, especially with an enemy like we have, because our enemies actually pay attention and learn from what we do.
Yeah. So I don't know if I played this story before. If I have, oh well. If I haven't, great. Yelling at my pregnant girlfriend.
My fiance, who's 28, is currently 5 months pregnant and has been both fatigued and nauseous lately. I get why she didn't want to help me look for the dog, but I can't get over the lack of empathy and bordering selfish behavior because of this either. My dog, a Heeler Corgi mix, runs off at least once a week. Usually my fiance will help me find her, but it's not without protest. I honestly didn't even know how she was getting out of our fence, so I installed cameras and found out that she was scaling the 8-foot fence. I ended up attaching spinners to the top of the fence thinking that would solve the issue, but it didn't. I brought her out today and I was playing with her when my phone rang. I was inside just long enough to grab my phone and my dog had gotten out. I immediately went to search for her, thinking that she couldn't have gotten far, but I couldn't find her anywhere. So I went back inside the house and asked my fiance, who was curled up on the sofa, to come help me. She immediately said no. She said that she was tired of chasing the dog, that she isn't dealing with it anymore, and that I should have just been out there watching her. I explained to her that I had been watching her, and I simply stepped away for 0.2 seconds to grab my phone just inside the sliding door, and she escaped. She, again, said that it wasn't her problem, and she's not exhausting herself anymore to search for my dog. I won't even say that this was unexpected, because, as I said, in the past, she's always had a problem with helping me search, but she's never said no. She just complained about it. At first, I went and searched myself. After maybe a half hour, I came back and asked her again to come help me, and she snapped. I said no, I'm so tired of chasing that dog around multiple times a week when I'm already exhausted and throwing up constantly. I was panicking, so I yelled at her, which involved me telling her that she was a B-word who lacked empathy and that I was thoroughly disappointed with my decision to be with someone so heartless. Oh, geez. It was out of pure fear and panic on my part, and I did apologize later after I found my dog, but she said, "Go F yourself," and won't talk to me. Am I the bad guy? Everyone is on my side except my sister, who says that I'm an effing prick because it's not my pregnant fiance's responsibility to chase around your effing mutts. And she said that she would have left immediately if her boyfriend ever said what I did to her.
So let me start. Let me start. So let me go through a couple of things. And it may not be true. It literally may not be true. I'm just giving you the prospect of what she, the fiance, is saying. That you right at that point in time put that damn dog over her, your pregnant fiance. To the point that you was abusive with your speech. You called out her name, which is a 100% deal breaker of all times. You can't hold a conversation, even a heated conversation with your significant other without calling them out their name and yelling at them. You ain't ready. So, my dude, you're an asshole. I'm not even gonna say it's a done deal because I have a strange feeling this ain't the first time you've done something like this. Number two, and this is on a lesser extent. Your dog escaped once a week. Once a week? He's not escaping. He's fucking trying to run away. He's trying to get the fuck away from you, dude. That's not escaping. Or actually, it is escaping. It's kind of like he's trying to escape from jail. He really, really don't want to be with you. Just like your fiance right now. Don't want to be with you. You put spinners on top of it, and that damn dog was determined to get the fuck away from you, bruh. Let that dog go. He don't want to be with you. I don't know what to tell you other than you're an asshole. And I would totally agree with your sister. I don't know anybody in my family whatsoever that's going to be called a B word and stay with you. No female in my family. And if they do stay with you, oh God, there's some huge ramifications coming from this. It is not going to be a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month forgiveness. You're going to feel the pain that came from using that word on her. And 3, even on a smaller scale. Dude, I need you to be a man. Why the fuck would you want your damn 5-month pregnant fiance running around looking for your damn dog? Again. You're the heartless one. Let's put it to you that way. You're the heartless one in this whole damn story. That dog don't want you, the fiance don't want you, your sister don't want you anymore. And I don't want you. Theus.
Yeah, so yeah, he's an ass, man. You don't ever call your woman a B word. You just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm different. I know it, but there are rules to engagement. There are rules of engagement, you know? This is what's that word where like I'm old school in a way. But nah, I'm responsible for the safety, care, and protection of my woman. And that extends beyond her physical safety. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm emotionally abusive towards her, then she can't feel safe with me. So I'm failing in my job. And calling her out of her name like that, I mean, I ain't gonna say you never have arguments, but you never use such words. Like just certain things you just are no goes. You just don't go there. Right? That's where love should kick in. You know what I'm saying? For real. And then as far as a dog, I love dogs. My wife can't stand dogs. So if she were to one day finally let me have a dog, because I've been pressuring her for 17 years to give me a dog. If she one day just cracks and says, fine, you can have a dog, and I go get a dog, I'm fully aware that dog get loose. She ain't going looking for that dog. So that's why you need to invest in training. Why have you not trained your dog, sir? Especially if it keeps jumping over the fence. Obviously, 1, your fence is too low. But 2, why have you not invested in training your dog? It's just ridiculous. You know, so on one hand, he's a bad pet owner, and on the other hand, he's a bad partner, and on the other hand, he's questionable as a bad person. And yes, you have played this one before, but yeah, come on, man. That's not how you treat. That's not how you treat someone you say you care about.
I don't know how I feel about some damn electric fence for the dog. Like,
well, not like enough to kill it, but
I know.
I mean, train the dog. Train the dog.
Yeah, I would train the dog.
They work.
It works. That dog don't want to be there. The dog just don't want to be there anymore.
And then I'm all, like I said, I'm a different kind of cat, and I'm not proud of this. What I'm about to say. I have abandonment issues. So in my youth, in my first marriage, we had a cat. I did not want this cat. I do not like cats. And my wife at the time loved all animals. So we had a cat. The cat hated her. Ooh, it hated her. But the cat loved me and it loved our daughter. So when the marriage fell apart and she took my daughter, I'm like, yo, all I want is the baby. I mean, you can leave. I just want the baby. And please take this cat. What is going on? Why are you leaving me this cat? So long story short, she took off with the kid, left the cat. So now the cat becomes my only buddy. You know what I'm saying? I had a guinea pig too, but that's another story. But the cat becomes my only friend because it's the only thing that I have to remind me of my life. And I had my life was still put together. And one day I opened the door. The cat ran out the door. And something inside me broke. I was like, you left me too? I closed the door. That was the last day I had a cat. So that dog keep escaping. There's gonna be one point where I'm just gonna be like her. Hey, the dog got out. She gonna say, so my feet hurt. Okay, baby, I'm gonna come rub your feet and we gonna sit on the TV and watch cartoons. It's on the couch and watch cartoons. It ain't my dog no more.
Oh my God. I have never, oh, the cat ran out and I just broke. Oh,
And then the cat had the nerve to come back. Like, I don't know, it was like a couple days later. Cat just had the nerve to come back. Nah, you don't live here no more.
Dang. I'm so sorry, man.
I know all the cat lovers probably mad at me right now, but I was a kid. I was young, man.
That was the funniest shit. I broke. I can see them wheeling you into a hospital and trying to explain to them what caused all this. The cat.
The cat was the straw, man.
That's what I'm saying. The cat just wanted some fresh air, man.
And that's fine. The cat decided they wanted to be wild. Go be wild. I'm not going to stand in the way of your greatness. But I've always had this thing. It's this, like I said, I have abandonment issues and I also have attachment issues. It's hard for me to attach to you, and it's very easy for me to let you go because I always believe eventually everybody's going to leave anyway. So when the cat left, it's the same thing as anybody else in my world. If you leave, I will never try to stop you. I will not. If you threaten to leave, I will open a door for you. But you can never come back under any circumstances. The only exception to that is my daughters. My kids can always leave or come back, because I'm pledged to them to the day I die. But anybody else, you want to exit my life? But don't call me like that cat tried to do. Hey, big head. Nah, man, I don't know you.
Where's the cat now?
I don't know. Probably dead now. It's been 20 years.
It knows that lower go. Oh God. The cat just wanted some cat friends, vacation time, and then come home.
Hey,
You
got all the freedom you wanted.
You need to communicate with them. That's it. An 8-foot fence does seem like a big jump for a dog to do, but I know some big dogs that can. Hey, Parker. There are some circumstances where you will do, and I know we talk about a dog, but this is the only way I know how to say it, where you would do superhuman feats to get away from somebody. that fence could have been electric fence with barbed wire and an alligator pit on the other side. The dog did not want to be there anymore. Like this dude said, 22 seconds. I was only gone for 22 seconds. Well, by the way, dude, why you take your phone with you? But anyway,
He lied and said 0.2 seconds.
0.2 seconds.
He went in the house and took a dump.
Wow.
He did. 0.2 seconds. You don't know how long that dog didn't want to be there parking. She needs to leave that dog and his pet. I got you. I got it. Good one, Tracy.
Yeah, Tracy ain't playing, boy.
Real or nah? Okay. I'm not even gonna give you my answer like I normally do. We haven't had a real or nah in a very long time, either way. But I'm not gonna give you the answer. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the story and let y'all decide if this is real or if this is fake.
I accidentally got engaged and married. I had been dating my girlfriend for about 4 years, and I took her out for dinner on Valentine's Day one year. I had purchased a nice piece of jewelry that I wanted to give her to show her how thoughtful I was. It was a ring from an antique store that cost $500. This was a big spend for Valentine's Day, but I thought that it would be a great effort. We sat down to dinner, and I handed her the little gift bag with the ring without saying anything. She opened it and exclaimed, "Oh my God, yes!" Before I knew what was happening, the waiter was bringing us complimentary champagne and the whole restaurant was applauding. She called her mother from the table, and apparently I was engaged. I didn't say anything because I was a bit shell-shocked and I still couldn't wrap my head around what had just happened. After a couple of weeks, I figured I would just roll with it, and we got married several months later. For 15 years, my wife would complain to her friends how I didn't say a word when I proposed, and I would always joke that no words can capture the depth of love that I have for you, and that my silence was the most poetic proposal of all time. I planned on taking this secret to my grave because I thought that it would break her heart. In a moment of honesty a few months ago, I decided to let her in on what happened. She was a bit miffed, and I think she's still a bit hurt, but I think it's such a great story, and it all worked out perfectly anyways. We've been married for 15 years, and it was the best mistake I ever made. Looking back, it was definitely an engagement ring that I'd purchased, even though I would have never given such a small diamond during a proposal. I did upgrade that small diamond to something more appropriate for a modern engagement after only a few months of being engaged.
I say real.
Okay. You say real. And that's all you're gonna say. You're gonna go with this.
Oh, I ain't know if you want to do yours or not, but yeah, I say real because I can see how every last bit of that can happen. Except, but it's still weird though, bro. Like, first of all, you are a clueless individual, but you are a man of your word. So that's why you stayed married for so long, and obviously that weirdness of yourself worked out well. Hopefully, you had a good marriage, and you're having a good marriage, but you even if it was just a gift, you don't just take somebody out for dinner on Valentine's Day and take a gift and just be like, yeah, like who does that? So it was a foul way to, it was a lazy way to give a gift, which explains why it was a lazy engagement, because it wasn't a real engagement. And then once it happens, you're right. I mean, unless you're ready to break up with her, yeah, bro, you engaged. You are officially engaged now. Best you could have done is like drag the engagement out for a while. But no, y'all were married 5 months later. That meant y'all was ready to get married. You know? So bravo. But yeah, I would have took that to my grave. That one would have died with me.
This may be a dumb question, but who gives the partner a ring just as a gift if it's not an engagement ring? Like, do people go around wearing random rings like that? In which Tracy
Yes.
said, Parker, people give promise rings all the time. Here's what the thing is, you agree, but here's the problem that both of y'all forgetting. And this is what's kind of throwing me with the story of I don't know if it's real or fake. Could it happen? Yes. If it is, dude, you clueless. I like you because just like Thea said, you stuck in there. You did the right thing. But let's go category by category. We have listened to a lot of stories of 6 months relationship, a year relationship, things like that. You've been with your girl for 4 years. On
I missed that part.
Valentine's Day. Yeah. On Valentine's Day, you took her to a nice restaurant where you given her a ring, which also later on in the show, you realize was an engagement ring. Like you was just picking out all rings. Like, ooh, I think this ring is cute. I'll give it to her. Come to find out, it was an engagement ring. You had the ring to her, and from your words, all hell broke loose. My question to you is, what did you expect? Like, you really thought this through more of just a nice gesture on a holiday that only promotes love. You did not think what the outcome was going to be? Like, really? Well, now you know. Now, granted, I can give you an out by saying, holy crap, she did yell out yes, and all the champagne came and people applauded, and she was already on the phone telling her mom and everything. Now, I can feel you on the fact that, well, shit, I can't say a damn thing now. Because I'm like,
I mean, if you don't want to marry her, you can still say something. But that relationship over.
You 40 years in, you better come up with a damn good reason to say, no, this ain't what this meant. After the champagne, after the applause, after she done called the mama. Because you sat there through all of this. This is no going home and sitting on the couch and going, let me explain what this really was. Now, the only bad thing I can give to the girl, to your partner was, it was a wordless proposal. He didn't say nothing. Fuck! What chance did you give him? You opened the box and yelled out yes.
That's still on him, bro.
Well, he should have said, what, this is a gift?
Yes. He's the one giving the gift. He's the one in control of being able to say something. Hey, baby, I know I don't often get you, things or whatever, but I saw something and it just reminded me of how much I love you and that my promise that we've been together for 4 years and I want you to know that I promise that this is worth your time and I thank you for staying with me and blah, 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 whatever. And I bought you this gift. First of all, you should have bought her a necklace or something else. You don't buy your girlfriend of 2, 3, 4 years a ring as the first gift. You don't do that. No, sir. You buy her a bracelet, you buy her a necklace, you buy her some earrings. You do something like that. You do not buy a ring for somebody you are not already engaged or married to.
Yeah, he should have said it was a gift when he handed it to her if he didn't want her to interpret it as an engagement ring. He should have made a better presentation with clarity on the purpose. And Parker is agreeing with you, Thea. Yes, Thea. Um, and the last thing I'm going to say is I'm with Theus wholeheartedly on this. This is taken to the grave. I'm never, ever sharing this. I'm not sharing it on Reddit. I'm not sharing it with family and friends, but I'm sure it's hell not sharing it with my wife. 15 plus years, hey, it's a done deal. Woo! Look now, that's cool. Woo! Got away with that one.
Marriages have secrets. This was riding with me.
Kept pushing it. I'm like, bruh, dude, you do. Mafia video of the week. I didn't know where to put this video because it wasn't a real or not. It wasn't a am I the a-hole because the guy wasn't asking for am I the a-hole or not. He was asking for advice. And Afra and Tracy, I'm so glad that you're all here. So you could opine on what this guy is saying and see if you can give him some advice. I have an idea what I want to say to him, but I would rather you to opine on to it because it is a relationship, trying to build a relationship type of story. So here we go.
What's the line between respecting a woman's opinion and helping her when her opinion is wrong? As the only male presence for a friend of mine, I feel the responsibility to make sure that she's doing fine. She's a lesbian, so having no males around hasn't been a big problem for her, but I think that it's unhealthy in the long term to cut off the opposite sex completely from her life. She's now manifesting some symptoms of her being asocial and having some issues in general with relationships. She feels uncomfortable that I kiss her, touch her, hug her in a very normal, friendly way, and that once someone mistook me for her boyfriend. I'm trying to gently push her to get used to my presence and see that there's nothing wrong in having relationships with men. She's under the impression that she can't really be a friend with a straight man because he'll try to passionately hug her. So where do I draw the line between doing my job and helping her and respecting her boundaries? She mentioned feminism, so I'm asking here. I'm always very sweet and kind to her, so I'm hoping this will make her more comfortable. Also, OP added this comment. But isn't it unhealthy on some level to be socially isolated from half of society? Also, I read that a woman's period is affected and lines up when they're closely around a male, and I think to have nobody in her life will mess with her biology and hormones. I'm not an expert here, but I think there are many reasons why she would benefit from even just being around me.
You're right. You're not an expert. You're an idiot.
That's one way to look at it.
No, that's the only way to look. This dude's a dummy. He's trying to deconvert her, or whatever the term is. If she says that she's a lesbian, then she's a lesbian. She does not need you to help her transition back to the right side. And how dare you think that you are the epitome of the male species, that if you would just spend enough time with her, forcing yourself upon her when she said that's not what she's into, who the heck are you, bruh? And then, she's cutting herself off from half of whatever. Okay, you know what? You need some gay male friends, because she needs straight male friends, so you need some gay male friends. And then, because they don't want you cutting yourself off from a whole side of the equation either. So you work on that one. You know what I'm saying? You got your friend Chad who's gonna come hug and kiss on you. That work for you, bro? These people are weird. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use that word. These people are out there. I don't know if that's better.
Not really. Okay, obviously I'm making light of this, but let's just be realistic about it. Dude, I thought you was an a-hole from the damn title. What's the line between? I'm sorry. Let's play this again. What was the
What's
line?
the line between respecting a woman's opinion and helping her when her opinion is wrong?
Okay, who the fuck made you think her opinion is wrong? You.
Because she's not fulfilled until she's married and bearing children, Marlon.
Fuck you. I'm gonna give a dude. Okay, women and men like this totally piss me off. You think somehow, some way, people who have grown up a certain way with certain beliefs, with certain skill, with certain styles, with certain way that they are the way that they are because they haven't met fuckers like you yet. And that you are the way.
They haven't met me because I bring the truth, Marlon.
I'm not even gonna say you bring your truth. Your truth sucks rocks. Your truth ain't even fucking truth. You okay. First of all, she feels some type of way when I hug her and kiss her and everything else. You hug and kiss your other friends like that? Your male friends, I'm saying. I doubt it. I doubt it. So why is she feeling this type of way? Because she wants your nasty ass off of her. I'm saying all this because this is one of those things where I can't get you to listen to what I'm saying. And this is the only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, because I just want to get it off my chest. You're not doing all of this stuff for her benefit, which we obviously don't, duh. But you're doing this shit because it's a conquest now. And once you don't found that this is a conquest and this is something that you just have to conquer, you have to change. You're not going to stop until there is enough consequence for you to stop. Honestly, the funny thing about it is it's going to be everybody's fault but yours. Whatever that is, you get your ass beat, you get restraining order against you, you get bashed on social media to the point where everybody's saying, look, you little whatever, and it's just humiliating to you. You're going to take all of that stuff in, and you're still going to say, no, people don't understand. And you're just going to go on with your life.
I'm being punished for my beliefs, Marlon.
And what's the funny thing about it is when I say you're going to go on with your life is you're going to go on to the next victim. And yes, I'm calling them a victim because that's what you're doing. You're victimizing them. She don't want men like that. You literally could have been a friend to her. Instead, you want to change her. You want to change her into something that you want. And you're
Don't want to change her, Marlon. I want to fix her.
She's not a fucking Buick. She is what she is. Move on, bro. Move on. Or don't, and deal with the consequences. Like this has been said for the longest time. You could be an asshole. You could be a racist. You could be a bitch. You could be whatever it is that you want to be. Just own it. You're not going to do that. You are not going to do that. And until you do it, again, like I said, you're just going to move on to the next victim. It's a conquest to you. You just feel like it's right. The minute that you came out of your mouth and said, or should I change somebody's opinion even when they wrong? Bruh, the first thing that came out of my mouth is, who the fuck do you think you are? You are
just
not.
want to help save the world.
I can't even call you God's gift to women. You really feel like you God's gift to females. I'm going to change her life with my dick.
No, he never said that he wanted to. I mean, it's implied. But he never said that he was trying to have sex with her. He's just saying that the power of his maleness will help awaken that part of her femininity that is being suppressed. He's just trying to do the noble and good thing, Marlon.
Oh, like the Christian Crusades.
I didn't say that. But yeah.
He probably looked like a toe to boot. Nice guy, neck beard, whatever. I'm not even liking those statements anymore anyway, so whatever. Yeah, Parker. LOL conquest is true though. Yes, there are people. Take any situation like this on any form other than you're trying to reform it, a lesbian, and just think about the schools that are set up. And what are we at now? 13 states. I have to look that up. 13 states that are still allowing school reforming schools.
The deconversion or whatever they call it.
Deconversion schools. And I'm saying 13 states are still allowing it. I may be wrong on that sentence. Parker, I know you will find it in like 3.4 seconds anyway. But and do so because I really do want to know the answer. But that's what that is. That is on a different level because it's a conquest for a profit, basically. But it is still a conquest. We're right, you're wrong, and we're going to take care of that. And let me add this by Malcolm X, by any means necessary.
Hey, sir, no, sir.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
No, sir, do not use our history to make that kind of point. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
By whatever means we need to use. How is that?
Man, whatever, man.
Still too close. My point is, people use whatever they feel is the right way that America should be. Men should be this way. Women should be this way. Children should be this way. Black should be this way. White should be this way. Asian should be this way. And they already have it in their mind what it is. And we are going to convert you to what we deem you to be. And when you get pushback on it, they never take responsibilities for it. Just think about the last sentence he said. You went to scientific, and I heard something about standing beside a girl on her period, it will save her life. I don't know what, I'm making shit up. I don't know what he was talking about with that. You ain't hear that no damn where, dude. Oh, well, you did hear it somewhere. You heard it on like the 19th page of Google or some guy on YouTube with 3 subscribers that believe that bullshit. But I have no idea what you was talking about whatsoever.
He gets it.
But
he gets it from the same place a lot of these people get it, bro. It's in their echo chamber. It's in their localized community. It's in their church or in their Bible study or their Sunday school. Or, usually that's where they're going to kind of get it reinforced. But it's their uncles, it's their aunties, it's their parents. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, Parker.
These things come from somewhere. And it was wild about it to me, and I learned this while I was back when I was a church person, which is one of the reasons. The term they use for it is deconstruction. But back when I was in the church before I left it, I always kind of noticed that people would quote things as though it were fact and as though it came from the Bible without ever actually going to the Bible, right? It's just an understanding, which means you got it from somebody else. You got it from somebody else who gave you their opinion of something that they may have read in the Bible. The Bible might not even say that.
And I'll even go a little bit deeper theory theos on this is, and even if you was to correct them, this is how can I still use the word crazy?
It's fine with me. Yeah.
Okay, well,
within reason.
This is how crazy it is. Everything you said could be absolutely correct. Now it depends on how old you is if they're gonna listen. Or at the very least, that's how they're gonna use it first. Because youth is in your 40s, and you don't know what you're talking about. Youth is as 10 years old saying the exact same thing you saying. Who you talking to? Mind your business. Mind your manners. Elders talking here. You don't know enough to contradict me. I read the Bible every day. No, by the way, no, you don't. You don't.
I mean, you can read the same thing every day. If you got a bad understanding, you got a bad understanding.
Man, that Bible been sitting on that damn table collecting dust since that child was born. That child now 12 years old. You dust that Bible, you pick that Bible up, there's a dust form underneath you. You ain't read a damn Bible, I don't know how long. You get your Bible verses from the back of the fan that you get from church. And you just flow with that one. I'm not Christian, but if you quote the Bible, I want to find it the way I look up words in dictionary. Where is it? Where does it say that? And surprisingly enough, I know you're going to push back on it. I'm just telling you since the pandemic. For me, that's what a lot of people are starting to do. When people come and start saying Bible verses and all this, where that's at? I want to read it. I want to read what it says. Because they can literally say exactly what it says in the Bible correctly, word for word. However, I've said this before on the show. They never tell you what was said before that verse. And they never tell you what they said after that verse, which changed the whole verse that they're trying to tell you. It's that one small bit that helps their argument. But they're never going to give you the content. No. We can't do that. That's too much reading.
Well,
how it's broke, Mark.
What I would say though is okay. So first, sticking up for my Christian brothers and sisters. The Bible, any religious text, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, is not like going to the dictionary.
Hold on there.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for so long. I try to sit there and read people's comments and interpret what they're saying because I know people type really fast and they misspell words or they put stuff in. So I got to the point where I say, okay, I know what they were saying. That's not what they wrote. So when you wrote, where say that at? I thought you would say, where is that? I didn't know you really was going to go up to somebody and go, thou should not kill. Where that at? Where they say that at? So, okay, I apologize. She said, where they say that at? So, sorry. No, you're the person that told Anna that I rushed through my show, but I apologize. Yes, please continue.
Ooh, what? Okay. What I was making.
I said what I said.
All right, bro. All right. But what I was saying on behalf of the Christians and the Muslims and all those out there who are out there, you can't, to be fair, you can't just pick up their text and treat it like a dictionary,
Yes,
right?
yes, you forgot to tell me.
Huh?
You forgot to tell me it's the Mama Hard album.
Oh, yeah, you slipping.
Damn.
But you can't just pick it up like any old book in a manner of speaking, because part of what draws them and holds them is there is an emotional attachment that is running behind the words. So
Yeah.
they call it in spirit. You got to go into the text through the spirit. For those of us who are not believers in that way, we would say that's an emotional thing that you're doing, right? But if you try to do it minus that emotional quotient, you're missing a lot of it, right? Because now you have no way to interpret the parables. You have no way to pick up the allegory, right? Because you're just looking at it saying, he said that the fish swallowed this man. And that's part of the things that we, will pick at some Christians about it. Like, you really think that Jonah was swallowed by a whale and it was in there for a few days? And do you understand the biology of a whale? But if you go into it from the spirit or the emotional aspect, then you start picking up the lessons about, obedience and disobedience and learning your lesson and things like that. So you really just can't come at it that dry. That's on behalf of the those believers like that. For the rest of us, yeah, I feel like what Afro was saying. Well, if you're gonna come to me, first of all, we got a problem anyway, because you can't come to me justifying the validity of what you're talking about when you got one source, right? You just can't do that with me.
It's not one source, it's the source.
Yeah, it's the source, but still, the whole argument is within your book. It's within your magic book that this the only place we can get the answers. We can't do this. I can't do this with you. That'd be like me arguing with somebody about green eggs and ham, and he's saying no, ham is green, and I'm like, no, it is not. And if you do have green ham, it's gonna kill you. And they're like, no. See right here, page 4, right? Your text governs your life. It doesn't govern my life. And that's what's important that people need to just hold on to. I'm not saying, I can't say that what you believe is false, but I can say that I don't believe it. Like,
and let me go through these real quick so I can get to my last point. LOL, who me? I don't remember saying that about the same Mr. Anna. Alfred, I'm just being silly because this is the last show for the next 2 weeks. So I'm just being silly. I'm really just picking on you, but I know. I'm just picking on everybody. I didn't think you were, and even if you were, to be honest with you, you was correct. So that's why I'm saying I'm just being silly. So, for me, it's funny. I don't have to borrow off. It's 10 o'clock, and I'm talking about it's late. I got to go to bed. No. And I'm not.
Well, you got to work tomorrow?
No, I don't. So I can't use the line, it's late, I'm so tired, I got to get up tomorrow. So I don't. And even when I get off now, I'm not going to bed no damn time soon. I'll probably sit there and try to find another show to look at on TV. So just ignore me, Alfred. I'm just being silly. Yes, when I said, like, I looked up words in the dictionary, I was speaking on Marlon's point about people making things up that aren't even there. You can't even use that anymore because the Webster Dictionary has adopted so many slang words that we have said are slang words that are now in the Webster Dictionary. Like, you're newish here, to be honest with you, Alfred, because you've been here for a while. What are the words that I have hated so much was guesstimate? Like, that is not a fucking word.
What,
Well,
guesstimate?
guesstimate is in the Webster dictionary.
Because it's a
And Tracy,
thing.
what's the other word that I couldn't stand? It was another word that just
Irregardless.
irregard. That is not a fucking word. Now, I don't know if that's in the Webster dictionary now, but irregardless. What the? Come on. Shit. Bible means books, not a single book. But we're talking about the Bible as a single book of books.
It's a collection of short stories.
You get disrespectful word after word. A
Me?
collection of short, yes, a collection
It
of
is a
short
collection of
stories.
short stories. It's a book of books, like she just said.
Oh, I was going back to the magical book that you was talking about.
Oh no, that's disrespectful, but I think it's funny, so that's why I do it. This is not,
No, people make things up that aren't in the Bible. Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
because they trust you don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that people say it says in the book, and it's not nowhere near the book. And yeah, Tracy, I see it. Irregardless, yeah, it's regardless. Why did you put what?
So the reason why people say irregardless
Why?
is because
regardless is the same freaking thing as irregardless.
it is, but they're adding that extra flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying without regard. So regardless means without regard, but I'm saying without regard, like irregardless, it just flows. Personally, I don't care about it. This ain't my language. I'm speaking this language because it's the only one I was born into and raised up under. So I'm one of those cats who looks at things and I'm like, I like slang, even though I don't really use it because the world that I operate in doesn't, benefit from it. I'm in white spaces like 99% of my time. So yes, I speak the King's English or whatever the traditional American English is. But I actually like the fact that, like, in our community, we got strange names. I think that's wonderful. That's part of our spirit of rebellion. The fact that we, even to this day, we push back against the colonial mindset that says we have to have Anglican names. I like all the creative names that we have. It actually speaks to our spirit. And I like when we butcher the English language. That has historical context as well. It's something that was forced on you. You don't just take it. You take it and you reshape it. That's how we have the Gullah language. That's how we have what's the other one? Man, just went out my head. But it's like what the Haitians speak it. Creole, right? So these are all things where the oppressor said you don't speak my language, and we took it and we're like, okay, I'm gonna learn your language, and then I'm gonna switch it up in these ways so that you don't quite always understand what I'm saying. Right? So that's why our slang is the way that it is. I like that. So irregardless stands.
Fuck irregardless.
Irregardless.
Irrespective. I've never heard that.
Never heard that one.
I never heard irrespective. I've never heard it. And yes, it is regardless. They mixed up irrespective and regardless. No, they irregardless was regardless, and then all of a sudden somebody, well, irregardless, it doesn't matter. It's like, why did you add 2 letters to the damn word?
You're assuming that these people like irrespective, not a common word. That's why I won't say to people who use irregardless of using irrespective, because they probably don't know irrespective. So that's why I said they're not doing it. But what you were saying, Marlon, is like you're assuming these people understand all these or know the etymology of all these words. No, this is what's said. This is what I mean. You know what I mean. So there you go. Why are you gonna be the word police?
That I literally will agree with, because I have said this so many times, holding a conversation with Foxy. When she tries to correct me on stuff that I'm talking about, I used to always look at her and go, you know, that's not the word. It's such and such, such and such. I was like, you know, it's so funny. I didn't say it bad enough that you did not understand what I was saying.
Right. Now, granted,
So,
sometimes you got to correct people, man. You can't just let somebody just be wrong. No, just sometimes you got to let it ride. More often than not, you got to let it ride. But sometimes, man, you got to be like, hey, that was not the right word.
we have a new commenter, Valiant
Hey,
Thor. They're just trying.
what is it?
They're just trying to be irritating. No, they're not.
They be sincere,
No,
man.
Valiant. They. This is part of their speech. No, they're not. This is how they talk. They're saying what they're saying. Like, hey, irregardless of what we was discussing yesterday, we're talking about what we're talking about today. They're literally just rolling with what they just said, and I have to sit there because I've worked in corporate America, just cringe underneath my eyes, like, you really actually affect people's lives, and you're using the word irregardless. Oh, Lord.
Marlon, be fair.
But
Be fair.
that's where it came from. People mixing irrespective and regardless. I'll take your word for it. I don't care. I still don't like the word. So the Bible says in the end times, people will proclaim what is right, is wrong, and what is wrong, they will say is right. This is happening today, not made up. That's not the point, because if you're saying that it is in the Bible, cool. What we was talking about is people who are making up things that is nowhere near in the Bible and making it if it's factually in the Bible.
What I was saying is that just because you believe what's in the Bible doesn't mean that it's true. It might be true. It doesn't mean that it is, especially to someone who does not follow your Bible. And they've been saying end times since Jesus died. When are these end times? I think it's a bit of a peculiar thing about us as people, that we are so full of ourselves that we think, every generation does this. Every generation. We think we're it. And I'm sitting here like, yo, things are bad. But that's because humanity is horrible. And if you believe in God the way that I believe in God, which works very closely with the Christian sense of God, then God created all of this. So he created a pretty jacked up creature in humanity. We've been horrible forever. So for me to say that this is the end time, I'm pretty sure you know, Dust Bowl, the Great Famine, slavery, World Wars,
2 recessions.
No, the recessions ain't big enough. But like,
I'm
these
sorry.
huge.
Whoa. The recession that we had when people was jumping out of a damn glass
Yes,
suicide
not big
was
enough.
bad enough.
Huh?
That was bad enough.
It was bad, but it's not end days bad. See, when people say end of days today, they're talking about the homosexuality, the transsexuals, the transgenders. I mean, they're talking about mother against child and child against father. They're talking about the complete breakdown of economic systems. They're talking about war and famine. They're talking about they're talking about all of those things. And I'm saying those aren't new things. So they've happened multiple times throughout the history of man. So this could be last days, but I'm pretty sure the people, well, I know for a fact the people before us thought it was the last days. And if these aren't the last days, then our children would think it's the last days. And if they aren't the last days, their grandchildren would think it's the last days. Because no one knows. It's in your book. It says it. Don't know.
And that's what I'm going in with. Therefore, keep watch because you do not know the day or the hour. That's the point. You don't know.
Trust. Either you trust your God or you don't.
You just don't know. You cannot sit here and go, this is a terrible event. This must be the end. You don't know. God is not going to send you a telegraph and go, get your shit together. It's not going to happen. When it happens, it's going to happen.
What we need to do, here's what my thoughts. What we need to do, because this is what ran me up out of Christianity, is because people don't actually believe what they say they believe. And that was starting to really bother me.
Keep talking.
Oh, I'm saying that's what really started bothering me. Because, see, it says that you will not know. Man does not know the day or the hour, right? So trust your God. Trust what he said. That or he, whatever the gender is, but I know in Christianity we go with male. So trust what he said. We don't know. And it said work while the day is light. Because when darkness comes, there'll be no work. So while we have time, let's focus on following the 10 commandments, following the fruits of the spirit. Work on that. Stop spending so much time trying to guess when it's all over. You don't know when it's all over, but you do know right now that you have an unction, you have a calling, you have grace, you have the law, you got a savior, you got all these things ahead of you who are telling you how to live each day and how to care for each other and how to care for this thing called creation. Do that. But don't waste my time talking about these are last days. We don't know last days. But we do know today. We do know that there are people who are just trying to do better for their families, do better for themselves, and who are trying to flee famine and hunger and this just war and all these things trying to come across the border. Instead of having a hard heart towards these people, we should welcome the stranger and we should find a way to help them in the light of Christian love and brotherhood while making sense of protecting the nation at the same time. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be trying to like cage them up and deport them and send them all over the place and we don't care what happens to them or their children. That ain't Christian, right? We shouldn't be pushing against universal health care because we don't want certain people to have access to it. That ain't Christian. We shouldn't be trying to find out. We shouldn't be letting corporations dictate the moral fabric of our country so that they continue to raise prices just because they can, not because they have to, but because the shareholders require a higher return. So the prices keep going up. That ain't Christian. See what I'm saying? So I'm sorry. Believe whatever you believe, but I'm saying I'm not somebody who doesn't know this stuff. I was foolish enough to believe it. So when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at people who claim to believe the things that they say that I believe in, and they ain't trying to walk that walk, they ain't trying to live that life. They just want to sit there and be, well, today I'm holy and tomorrow, well, you just got to forgive me. Sometimes I'm a little petty. The hell? Let your walk reflect your faith.
All right,
whatever it is.
Let me get through all of these real quick so we can move on. Like I noticed people improperly using rather instead of whether or either. You have the same people who still are confused with there, and there. And
then and then.
Then and then, yeah.
Effect
but Marlon, I say it's irregardless, and I won't stop. Never gonna stop. Never gonna stop. Tracy is on a roll. They often think they're speaking at an elevated level because they don't know it should be irrespective or regardless. I agree with you.
Fair enough.
And this one right here, which I said Tracy is on the road. Cleanliness is next to godliness is not in the Bible.
Is it? I never look for it.
Not in the Bible. No. Nothing. Nothing is new under the sun. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready. Yeah.
I would be fair with that. I'm with you.
I'll go with that one. Ran me out of Christianity sounds funny. I don't know why that sounds like a t-shirt. I don't know why a t-shirt just popped in my head. Like I can see somebody wearing a t-shirt. Ran me out of Christianity. It's over when he says it's over. Sorry, I know I said I was gonna move through this real quick. Let me speak on that. And if it's the end day, what the fuck you gonna do? Because if it's the end day, it's the end day, bro. Ain't no, it ain't. Okay, America, and I'm only speaking to America because America is only a country. I'm sure there's others, Russia, China, that does this stuff. You couldn't come up with a fucking protocol for the end of days. Promise you. There ain't a weapon that you have. There ain't a spacecraft. There ain't a think tank that you can put together. In the days is in the days. It's done. You don't understand the word done. It's done. I know I'm using a whole lot of, cuss words when I say get your shit together. But seriously, in the days, get your shit together. Because it's a done deal. I don't even know what to say. It's over with. Here's a serious fact. The United States was founded in 1776, and she's been at war for 228 of the 248 calendar years of existence.
It's the biggest industry.
Where do they get the money from? Where they get the money from now?
If you look at what pulled us out of almost every major recession was war.
We need leadership that will not drag us into an endless war. We're literally and Parker, you can look this up for me if you can. Since World War II, the United States have always will make sure that there is enough money / enough weapons in their arsenal to be able to fight 2 wars at the exact same time because of World War II between Germany and Japan. That will never, ever change. And I think about Trump, so who the hell knows? But for right now, the United States will always have enough money or enough resources, weapons, allies, however you want to say resources, to be able to fight 2 world wars if they need to at the same time. It is our biggest industry. We have enough weapons to allow other countries to have our weapons. Yeah. Thea said, run me up out of Christianity. It sounds hilarious. Now, that sounds like a t-shirt. It sounds hilarious. I'm exactly the way he is. It was laughable. I'm not done with Christianity. I'll be truthful with you. I am a Christian. I do have Christian beliefs and everything else, but I'm so based into the Christianity that I was brought on to that when I listen to the other Christians, so you see my quotes, Christian talk and everything, it just goes over my head, and I refuse to pay any attention to what you're saying. If your Christianity phase is to actually degrade any other group of people, whatever. I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to have an argument with you. Here's a story that I said one time that I had to explain to somebody. Let's go back to slavery again. Oh, Marlon, you're going back to the old days. Get over it. Shut up. Let's go back to slavery. Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel. He was cursed. It said the ancestors of Abel will grow up to rule over the ancestors of Cain. Now, let's use some logic. How the fuck are you going to have ancestor of Abel when he's dead? But let's just slide past that and just go ahead and get into the crux of why I'm telling this story. The ancestors of Abel will be the rulers and masters over the ancestors of Cain. Well, during slavery, who the fuck did you think was the ancestors of Cain? And who the fuck did you think was the ancestors of Abel? Put
Well, they call it the curse of Ham.
Yep. And that was a part of control. There was a lot more, but that was Christianity being weaponized to control a people. So, like I said, am I a Christian? Yes. But I have been so rooted in my Christianity, when I hear bullshit like this, I tune you out. I literally tune you out of everything that you say. Because you're full of shit. We're talking about a time when we got "Let's Go Brandon" is being yelled at out in the middle of church. That's Christianity? When you got ATMs in these mega churches just to make sure that you're able to give some type of contribution to the roof fund, is that Christianity?
Part of it.
Okay, then explain the one that has the McDonald's in it too.
Well, people got to eat.
Yeah, sure. Okay. in my day, we used to go our ass home and eat, but okay.
The American version of Christianity. So I'm gonna preface one little thing. As Kwame Ture often would say, you can't judge a religion by its adherents. And sometimes I make that mistake. Oftentimes I make that mistake. You can't judge a religion by its adherents. And the reason why I make that mistake is because that's who's here. Like you have dedicated your life to this thing you call your faith, whatever the faith may be. So the moment you say that you are a Christian, that means Christianity, being a Christian means you're Christ-like. You're in pursuit of being like Christ. That's an active thing. That's not a membership role, right? You are trying to be Christ-like. That's evolve, grow. You should, the fruits of the Spirit should, manifest somehow. As I believe as Paul said, that faith without works is dead. Yes, there are doctrines within Christianity who will say that once you have acknowledged Christ and taken Christ on as your personal Lord and Savior, you're saved and that's done, period. You're sealed. And then there's others who say that you can lose that. I don't know. Not my ballywick to figure out. Only God would know the answer to how that's really going to be done, no matter what you say. Only God really knows. But you say you're a Christian, though. You didn't say that you are what Jesus was, which is a Jew. You're not claiming to be a Jew. You claim to be a Christian. So you should be trying to act like Christ. So when I'm seeing people who have committed themselves to this thing and they live opposite to that thing, or they take it off at their convenience, I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that, right? But Christianity itself is a global faith. In I don't know. I asked my dad this once. He's very much a believer, and the sentiment is that Christianity is the one true faith. And my concern, and no one can answer this because there's a whole bunch of human beings trying to answer the question, but my concern is, so you're saying that all the other people that God created, they just doomed to hell? That's what you're saying? That doesn't make sense. And then you say that the Jewish people are God's chosen people. They don't acknowledge Jesus as a Messiah. So are they going to hell? Christ never said become a Christian. You know, he said pick up your cross and follow me. But he was a Jew, so you should have been Jewish. You know, but no, we're Gentile because we were frozen out of that. So it was Christ that allowed the Jew and the Gentile to come together under God. So okay, cool. Now live like that. But when you don't want to do that, then that's a problem, and I'm gonna call you out on it every single time. And you can't use it. You can't use that same thing against me because I tell you my faith. Watch me. I made no bones about it. Watch me. Everything I say and everything I do, every project I take on, the way I raise my family, the way I engage with my wife, the way I engage with strangers, the way I go to work each day, all of that is my faith. But anyway, good luck to everyone because we're all on a rock, hurtling through space, hoping not to run into something else.
Early. Been in the same spot since it got here.
No, it has not.
We ain't finna go with that. Science have proven that his move 2.4 miles to the east.
Science does show that the Earth is moving. In fact, in order to maintain centripetal force, it has to be spinning. And in order for the planets to move and not be in the exact same alignment at all times, the planets have to be moving. And then the sun is actually showing how actually you come out from the sun, the solar system, and you look at the galaxies, and you can see the galaxies moving. And we're part of the galaxy. So if the galaxy is moving, we're moving.
Thank you, Dr. Spock.
Ain't no Dr. Spock. That's just straight up basic science.
But you do understand when you keep saying hurling, like somebody is somehow you got somebody who got to hold up the whole planet and chucked it towards the sun.
Yes. The whole thing's moving very fast. Very, very fast. Very, very, very fast. That's why we don't feel it. Because we're moving very, very fast. It's like sitting in your car. Your car is going 80 miles per hour down the road. You got wind resistance. You got the road underneath you. You got everything going on around. But inside that car, unless somebody jerks the wheel, we all just moving along. 30 feels like 60, feels like 100 because you're within the thing. The Earth has us held down in our atmosphere with centripetal force. We don't feel it. Doesn't mean it's not moving.
Well, I wouldn't know because I have never gone over 60 miles per hour on the highway, so I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not me. Marlon, you was in the Air Force. You would know more about that. You're going to have to remind me about what I said. The wars waged were never against any military capable countries, but only countries that were once considered the third world.
No.
No, because I don't think Germany was ever considered third world.
Germany was considered the most powerful military. It was considered more powerful than ours. So they messed with us. Well, messed with the country. So no, World War II, but I gather the point. World War II was the last time that America was in a war among equals.
Yeah,
and when we were getting our asses handed to us, we dropped a bomb on them.
I agree with you on this. The majority of the wars. Now that I could agree with you on.
No, I mean legit. The last time we were in a serious war among equals was World War II. We've lost every war since. So,
at the very least, going by everybody say, we've tied, or it's been.
Well, it would be Iraq.
It's been undecided, like I don't know, fucking.
No, the Korean War. It was never decided. It has an armistice. That means you didn't win. Vietnam War was an armistice. That means you didn't win. Iraq, we picked a weaker country to go fight. So yeah, we won. Afghanistan, we were supposedly as a war on terror. It wasn't a war against Afghanistan. And we still didn't win. You name it, bro. We have not won, like decisively won a war since World War II. And the only reason we won World War II is because we were the only country in the history of mankind to drop an atomic weapon on somebody. Because the Japanese was whooping our tail. So, I mean, I get like the patriotism and we like to feel better about ourselves, but when you just look at the facts of the matter, nah, man, we've been bullies. We all know that. But outright wins ain't been doing so hot. And that's also one of the reasons why the Republican Party, as it currently stands, is in such disarray, because they have been force-fed patriotism all their lives, and they have now had their children and themselves serve in these wars for the last 20 plus years with very little to show for it. And they're disenfranchised and they want change.
Marlon, it was Noah's 3 sons that you were talking about. Jesus said, "He who believes not is all is." Jesus said, "He who believes not is already committed." Yeah, that word. Lord have mercy. We're moving on up, moving on. What? I was ready to go to bed. You go more than 60 miles per hour in an airplane. I said driving. I didn't say a plane. And everybody that's in the Air Force is not automatically is a pilot.
But you travel somewhere on a plane at some point if you're in the Air Force.
Shit, I'm gonna travel on a damn plane. Never mind.
When you change duty stations or had to travel, I don't know, maybe for basic you might not have had to. Depends on where you were.
You change some duty stations. First thing they try to look for you is a bus. So I'm letting y'all know that now. All the people that's going in the military thinking I'm gonna fly all around the country and learn everything. Bro, I'm letting you know now. They found a 3-hour, 4-hour bus ride for you.
You ain't flying until you finish your basic and it's time for MOS. But
yeah. Because I went to a place that literally had 10 roofs. I thought it was a joke till I saw it. Then I saw it and went, holy shit, this is actually real. Wow.
Yeah, but you were in the Air Force, so you had like the good spots.
I was in Texas. And I converted to Texas.
Oh, is that the only duty station you had?
Yeah, Texas.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Although this is just a PDA, San Antonio's great. I love San Antonio. It was a cool place. The Riverwalk in San Antonio was a cool place.
I thought I don't remember how long you said you were in, but I know like my dad was in and he moved a lot. So
I didn't move a lot. It was San Antonio. It was Lackland Air Force Base, Shepherd Air Force Base, back to home base here where I'm at now, back to Lackland, and then back here. So I didn't travel. Oh, there was that brief stint in Colorado, which that was interesting. Marlon knows a place, y'all, where ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody. So Afro, you just gonna sit here and just
I'll
throw out
take you there.
the rest of the night. Bring back my super funny mafia video of the week. I have no idea which one that is, Tracy. So Marlon, don't lie. You know your Air Force provides everyone with their personal helicopter to move them from place to place. Bro, I'll give you a heads up on basic trading. We didn't get heat until 2 weeks in. And those were the thinnest blankets you ever had on the face of the planet. Good luck, everybody else. You do what you do. Oh, the Red House one. Yeah, that's
At
archived.
the Red House.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and get up out of here. Foxy's videos of the week. 4 videos tonight, so we can get up on out of here. All of them short, where you could tell that this baby is a daddy's boy.
Ronaldo down towards Lingard. Ronaldo! Manchester United win! It's Cristiano Ronaldo on this field.
Yeah, I love watching kids when they're mirroring. It's adorable.
It is. This has nothing to do with nothing. I just thought it was funny as hell.
If the angels came for me, I tell them no.
He bought the fake.
And the funny thing is, don't throw your middle finger up and then miss the shot, though. I'm just.
Oh, I didn't see. She missed.
Oh yeah, she conked. She just.
If the angels came for me, I tell them no.
It cut off before I saw what happened. So, but anyway, sometimes the layups can be tricky. You know, you don't quite get it where it needs to be. You know, I'm not good at basketball.
Look, I'm telling you right now, when you put your middle finger up at somebody as they, shoot them out, better make that shot. That's all I'm saying.
Basketball is full of trash talk. I love it. I love that part of it.
To all the men out there, you know better.
Bye.
When you know your lady, you know you messed up.
You do better. You're gonna toss it in there. Okay. Let me answer the rest of the night tonight. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. I'm just gonna let you know it's gonna be interesting.
What? Because he threw the dish in the sink?
Yeah. Yes. Exactly what that means.
He understands.
Last video of the night. This is how you talk to your wife.
And I'm going to tell you another thing. Since I'm the man of this house, if I want to leave at 12 midnight and come back at 2:33, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's what I do because I'm the man. And all you got to say is what you want to put on because I'm going to go ahead and iron it for you. And I don't want to hear nothing else. That's what he told his wife. I said, bro, you're crazy. I will never do such a thing.
No, you wouldn't talk to me like that, would you?
No, baby, no. You're crazy? Oh, hell no. You want me to do the laundry after I do the dishes?
Yes, that would be
you.
nice.
Oh,
Thanks.
I got you, girl. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you fix that real quick.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because, like, I marveled at this early in my marriage. I just accepted it is what it is. But yeah, I ain't scared of you. Like, legit, like, I ain't scared of you. Like, there's literally nothing she can do to me. Like, she can't beat me. You know, she can make my life a little uncomfortable. You know, but such is how much I care for her that, and also I don't like being, irritated and dealing with nonsense. I do whatever I can to make her life as easy as possible. Not because I'm scared of her, but because I want her to be happy and I don't want to deal with the noise.
I always had this irked when people use the word, so you trying to say. just piggybacking on the "I'm not scared of you." That's the first thing that popped in my head when you said that was. So you trying to say, "I'm not scared of your ass." I ain't trying to say anything. Say what I say. You take it a certain way, we can hold a discussion about it. But I'm not, trying to find a decent, polite way of saying you're an asshole without literally calling you an asshole. You are on the lower level of where waste is delicately exposed. I'm not going that route. Like, you're an asshole. Like, why would I use a whole bunch of damn words to go towards that's who you are?
You are a poop shoot.
But I that was always been one of my pet peeves of, so what you're trying to say is like, I ain't scared of you. So why would I try to say anything? Like, what are you gonna do? You literally can't do nothing but get mad. So yeah. This is so
Yeah, I don't get the trying to say thing. Like my wife never. I'm very, in case y'all haven't noticed, I'm very opinionated, but I'm also whatever I say, I mean that. Like I mean that. I said what I meant. I might be wrong. And I figure out I'm wrong. I'm gonna own it and I'm gonna apologize or I'm gonna stand in my wrongness. One of the two gonna happen. But yeah, if I said it, I meant that.
All right, everybody. If you have not hit that like button, please do so at this time. I would love to look at the numbers because we've had a lot of views. We've had a very new commenter, which I truly appreciated. We are at 401 subscribers. This has been an absolute phenomenal show. But what did you say, Afra? Ooh, not standing in my wrongness. It's the same thing as saying just own your shit. That's all. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, own it. Don't waste
I'm
my
not
time.
gonna run from it.
Wrong. Just, you know what? I'm wrong. I apologize. We done. You will come off long term looking more of a honest human being, understanding that you was wrong in certain situations, than coming up with excuses of why you was wrong. I mean, there are some situations where you say, I was wrong, and you can say, don't say but, say because. I was wrong because I didn't have all the information. You literally may still be wrong in the situation because you may have just been running your damn mouth so much that nobody can get a word edgewise to tell you all the information. You may literally be wrong twice, but just take ownership of it. I was wrong. I apologize. I didn't have all the information. Now that I have all the information, I see what you're saying. And we're done with the conversation. Literally. If this conversation goes longer than that, okay. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to go ahead and look at the NFL game.
I got to know why you was wrong.
No. Last comment. The Red House, where black people and white people, well, no, let me do it as the Red House. At the Red House, where white people and black people buy furniture.
That pause is way too long. They weren't that bad. They weren't that bad. It wasn't that bad. What was that man's name? 40 ounce. What is that man's name?
I don't know.
14 gauge.
I don't know what that dude's name was. That dude had issues saying that second part. And to all my Hispanic friends, you wasn't mentioned to the end of the video.
Hey, but he didn't mention the Filipinos at all.
Do you know a Filipino?
Actually, not anymore. I don't, but I did. I did because one of my favorite ex-girlfriends is Filipino. Well, she is Filipino. Well, but nah, I raised that only because it's
I
like
know
a
the reason why you raise it, because nobody, when we discuss situations, nobody says anything about the plight of the Filipino, but we can always discuss the plight of the Black community, the Asian community, the Latino community. I and I agree. I agree, because one thing that you say, you ever think about the Filipino community? And I can always say, no, I don't.
but like I said, that's illustrative. And if I
I
didn't say Filipino, I could say Samoan or something like that. I mean, it's just like everything ain't about black people and white people. There's more people in the world and America than black people, white people, and Latinos.
not Afra, because she said she knows Filipinos. But what's the first and last name, Theus?
Oh, I'm not gonna do that. Oh no, see.
Well, what's the first name? You ain't got
Her
to
first
say
name
the
is Joy.
So do you know the last name?
I think so.
Wow.
Hmm?
I'm gonna give you a pass because I'm
Dude,
thinking that was
in her case, it's been like 30 years.
Yeah. I'll give you that. LML at one of my favorite ex-girl. Did you say my favorite ex-girlfriend?
She was one of my favorite ex-girlfriends.
That's possible.
Yeah, I didn't break up on bad terms with everybody.
How the hell would you know? You just say I don't want to talk to you no more. Bye. You did break up with
Right, so those are good terms.
Your situation of we didn't break up on bad terms, which means I just broke up with her and walked away. I didn't feel like it was bad terms. What bad terms?
I mean, I got some bad terms experiences, so I compare those to the other ones, and I'm like, not bad terms.
Yeah, but my point is your thought process on you walking away from a relationship without giving, and I don't get into a diatribe of what I'm going to say, because I know you're going to say, I ain't got to, but you don't give no explanation of why you broke up with the person. You just, that's not going to work out. I thought
that is the explanation. That is the explanation.
What's the explanation?
This isn't working out.
Why?
Because we've grown apart.
So how did we grow apart in 6 months?
Too much. See, now it's too much. See, look, we just gotta understand that it didn't work out, and if we tried to make it work out now, what under what circumstances? What would that even be like? It's already broken. It's time to just let it go.
I'm finna shut down the show.
So I was told I'm one of the nicest mean people that people know sometimes.
Not even gonna go there. Just tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at ourunitedcore.com. I invite you to stop by, check out the website, see what we're trying to work on. Soon have some more things coming on there. I would hope. New video is in the Patreon page and the web page. Same video, so you ain't got to go 2 places to see it. But yeah, check us out.
This is about the end of the show, which it is the end of the show. Marlon, real quick, did you see the WWE Saudi show yesterday? Yes or no, it's fine. Yes, I watched the whole show. Yes, I agree with everything that happened.
Did somebody get pinned?
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, I agree with it. I agree with every decision that they made for the winners and the losers. I agree with everything that happened. I had no issue with anything of the show. I have an issue that she brought to Saudi Arabia 2 more fucking times before the year is over with, but that's
where the money is, bro.
I know. And they definitely taking it up for them. Taking it up a lot. You know how bad it is that you want the money that you literally designed the whole pay-per-view of basically going to Saudi Arabia. Like the whole pay-per-view can't go anywhere else but Saudi Arabia.
Bought and paid for, man. Doesn't matter if they murdered somebody in the most grisly of fashion. People kill people, apparently.
They'll pay for the funeral.
Go get the money.
All right, everybody. Just to let you know, we will be off for the next 2 weeks, and in case that doesn't have any understanding, we will be back June 16th. That is our return date, June 16th. We have a lot of, however, I should say, we will be working behind the scenes. Like, it ain't like we're off the next 2 weeks and we're just gonna be laying out in the sun. One of us will be laying out in the sun, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, the show will have a new look coming off of break, and we are, because Alan already let everybody know, that we will be introducing a brand new show produced by Anna herself. It is her show. I will now become executive producer. She will be producer of her own show. Where is Diaz going? What is the world? Okay, there he's going. Anna will be producing her own show with her own segments and everything. I have been, it's funny to say, I have been promoted to executive producer, which is hard to do. But Anna has been promoted to producer of her own show. So we will be introducing a new show on our return. So there you go. So we will still be working behind the scenes as we take this break. I'll be going on vacation. I'm not going to tell you when the vacation is because I don't trust you people to come and rob my house. Just kidding. I'm joking. Haha. Just joking. But I'll be finally going on a much needed vacation. And Theus has promised everybody that he will put out another video before I return.
I'll put out one.
I know. Oh wow, is there a name? Not yet. We do have a working name. Which I can't remember. What was it, Theus?
I don't recall, but I would really rather one of them make that statement.
I can't remember what the name is, so let's just say it is a working name, but I can't remember what it is. Even Hannah said that's not the final name, so I don't want to say it. That's not it, but yeah. So that's what's going to be going on behind the scenes. So again, Afra, because Afra is the one person that will come on and see a premiere and go, "Are y'all live?" No. Are y'all live? No. We're not live. June 16th is our return day. 2 weeks off.
Hey, major shout out to everybody who's been commenting today. I got terrible eyesight, so I can't read nobody's name. So I'm not even gonna say nobody's name. But thank you to each and every one of you. I really enjoyed the questions, the pushback, and the other angles. It's really cool. So thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm out. Hello? Anybody still there? Now alone?
You telling me? leave here, return here. Hey, that's not true.
She's coming back here though. I assume she's talking about Anna.
We will be returning on the 22nd of June. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. Everybody we will be returning June 22nd. What's funny is that's one we'll have one show in June. We'll take that final week off and we'll be back. We'll be back on track in July. So either way,
sorry, folks.
Is she coming back here though? Yes. This is a completely separate show, her show, but she will still be on Saturday Night Live and Radical Truth to Power. That's not changing. I decided that she does need to have her own separate show where she can go into great details about her passion and things that she likes to talk about, mental health, LGBTQ community, and things like that she's more passionate about. She's actually more passionate about international affairs than I am, and she can talk about that too. So she is going to go into more great details on that show too. So it's her show, just putting the stuff together, but she's running. That's it. Marlon had to quiet Javier down. Javier ain't got nothing to do with absolutely nothing. This is the longest goodbye. Yeah. Everybody says, Tracy, I promise you, this is the funny thing about it. I have a lot of people complain, this is the longest thing. And the next thing you know, I get emails and texts going, there's a show tonight. Y'all ain't doing a show tonight. This ain't live. So whatever. I can't win one way or the other. So whatever.
Tracy, you're right. This is a really long goodbye.
It is. Diaz broke up with no explanation, but has issues. Please examine that.
What now?
Diaz breaks up with no explanation, but has abandonment issues. Please examine that next. We will do it on the next show. Diaz, don't you say that, because I'm ready to go.
Very well.
Oh, okay. I like long goodbyes, so we are literally going to say goodbye right now. That is the last comment that I'm taking. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all age, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're legitimate club.
I appreciate this. I appreciate the returning Anna. I appreciate when everybody comes back. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a great time away. Enjoy your holiday time tomorrow. Just thank you.
I still ain't found anything from Liz.